Hello, everybody. My sincerest apologies. This is the first time I've ever actually been late to stream. I was trying to finish up the last of the profile edits for Morgan and Luke. It took a little longer than expected. I ended up typing out a fucking book for him, so it ended up taking just an extra minute longer than I had anticipated. So I sincerely apologize for the delay, guys. Doesn't usually take me that long to do that stuff, but I've been working on several projects today, pretty much all day. And yeah, it took me a bit longer than I expected. So I hope everything's gone through. I'm going to have to fucking fix their names because that's a frequent issue with this mod early on. I'm going to have to fix their names and put them back to who they are. So to a bar real fast. But how is everybody doing this evening? How's everybody doing? All right, we got to go fix their names. Get on over here. Where is the plastic surgeon? They're around here somewhere. This happens when you first jump in with characters. Sometimes their names get all jumbled and messed up, so you gotta like go in and manually fix it. Once you change their name once, though, it should fix it. But it's an issue with Sentient Sands. I just gotta wait for the plastic surgeon to show up. He's around here somewhere. The man with the goggles. Looking for the man with the goggles. Yeah, the easiest way to fix this is just once you go to a plastic surgeon one time, it cements their name in stone. Hopefully, this corrects their backstory and whatnot. I'm late. What, Horde? You're not that late. I literally just jumped in. I was the one that was late. Yeah. What horde? It's a zombie horde. This is a zombie apocalypse playthrough. Need to find the damn plastic surgeon. Where you at? Around here somewhere. Unless it's the hiver, in which case they won't have the goggles, which would make sense. But there should be one in here. I have a mod that adds a plastic surgeon to every outpost, so they're around here somewhere. Just gotta find them. But what are my shadows set to right now? Fix that. There we go. All right. Shit, we gotta find a plastic surgeon like ASAP. We gotta find a plastic surgeon like ASAP. Who is that? Those manhunters? Okay. Where is the nearest town from here? Henge is over there. Heft is over this way. Shinobi, there's no Shinobi thieves here either. There's supposed to be a plastic surgeon in town, so I'm a little irked that it's not there. I have a mod specifically that adds in plastic surgeons to every town. And it doesn't appear that one has appeared here. And I don't really care for that. Hilo, mouse, Nodo. Here's what we'll do. I'll give it a moment, see if maybe one pops up. You? Are you the man? No. You're the fence. Sitting over here. Oh, there they are. Haha, I found them. 200 cats? Jesus Christ, I must spend a little bit of money that I do have. Arthur. Yeah. Luke. And Morrigan. Morrigan. Okay, so let me make sure the character profile's updated correctly. I just typed out massive character profiles, so they should have popped in correctly. So Luke, yeah, okay. So as you guys can see, I typed out a whole fucking book for their backstories, their paragraphs, their personalities, I mean, and their speech quirks. Same with Marigan. Same deal. So they should be far more fleshed out now. They should be far more responsive in terms of how they communicate and all that stuff. So it'll be all good. I also took the liberty of updating the profile editor. So there's big ass backstory here. You can't see all of it, but it's there. So they should have much better dialogue now. They should communicate much better with each other. They should behave much more realistically. And interact with each other in a much more enjoyable way. I mean, even last time they were doing pretty good, but it should be much better now. Should be much better now. Oh, man. Excuse me. Okay. Let's do a quick test. All right. Okay. What's on your mind? Let's see how he responds. So, for clarification, just watching these city rats scurry makes me miss the open desert where you can see threats coming. Okay. So, Luke is very hot-headed. I gave him a very hot-headed personality. He's also a devout Ochre Knight who, has a hero complex with his father, and became a devout Ochre Knight and trying to live up to his perceived expectations of his father. And then after his dad was, obviously shamed, he felt this great disillusionment between his belief systems. His dad is now disillusioned, but he's also a deep, believer of the Ochre Knight faith. Very hot-headed, very intense, very aggressive. Doesn't like non-humans. He's, your standard Ochre Knight. But he's also very, very protective of his sister and very deeply, seeking the respect of his father, despite the fact that he holds kind of a grudge against him for. His dad being more pragmatic and in terms of not, fully adhering to the doctrine the way that, he believed that he did. And then Morrigan's kind of on the flip side. She was obviously a woman in the Holy Nation. She spent a lot of time repressed, a lot of time not able to properly express herself. And now that they're out of the Holy Nation, she is, kind of tilting further in the other direction where she's a lot more open, a lot more pragmatic, a lot more open to change and whatnot. And she's kind of figuring out who she is as a person. Her and Luke fight like cats and dogs. Luke can be kind of disrespectful, but ultimately he has, the right ideas in mind. So there should be a much more interesting dynamic between the characters now that all that stuff is fleshed out. Now that all that stuff is done. Okay. Dead don't march. The priest just talk. That's just the dead don't march. That's just priest talk to scare folks into tithing more bandits and beasts, not corpses. Don't let your. There's gonna be a slight. There's a slight issue right now. Not issue, but like with the rewrite, Luke isn't quite acknowledging that the dead are walking again, that they are alive. So, that there is zombies outside. I assure you, the dead march once more. Saw the horde myself. Will take down everyone in their path if we aren't ready. It's not a myth or a lie. The reality in front of us. Let's see how he responds to that. I know what you saw, Father, but that doesn't mean I have to like it or trust every scrap metal and bone that calls itself a soldier. Yeah. I also said it's a couple of interesting speech quirks where your father saw the same thing, didn't he? That's why we're here, hunting for bodies to throw at a problem that won't stay buried. One of the things that I included was specific cues for me to determine what kind of mood like Luke and Morrigan are in. Luke in particular, I added in cues where like he'll alternate between Sir, Father, and then sometimes when he's being a real douchebag, he'll call his dad by his name. So like little stuff like that. You can always kind of tell the mood that he's in based on that. Thought that was an interesting idea. A nifty little idea. There's zombies out here? There is. Hey, what's going on? Welcome, everybody. We're here. We're fighting zombies. Some zombizzles. Taking them down. Now we need to get our skills up and moving right quick. We need... Zombies are going to be more difficult come late game because they're martial artists, so it's going to be, you know, they're going to be hitting hard. But hopefully we can deal with that. I was told by Frankie not to build a base until we're ready for things to really start moving, so I'm probably going to be living inside of a town for a while. Because once you build a base is when the attacks that trigger the evolution of the virus start happening. So the big thing right now is getting Morrigan, Luke, and them up to snuff with combat and whatnot, getting them strong enough to stand on their own. Luke has decent attack, bad defense. Morrigan has is well-rounded but still kind of low, and then Arthur is well-rounded in total. Ruka is also decent attack, low, and pretty much everything else. Remember, beak lives matter. They're critically endangered and important for the ecosystem. Beak things are going to be incredibly important because I think we're going to base in gut. Good spot for holding out against the Horde. There's Luke fighting. Yeah, so the zombies are pretty weak right now, but they won't stay that way. They will not stay that way. Dude's munching on zombies. Interesting, interesting. Interesting. The stomp zombs, no. Alrighty, there we go. He's no longer just you know, doing his weird leg thing. Gotta make sure we're building up them skills, Yeah, so the main goal tonight is find a sit. Jesus Christ, there's so many of them. They're everywhere. All right, so I'm going to yell to Luke to help Samurai hold the city. Let him know what's up. Fine, if the dead want the city, they'll have to go through me. Just don't expect to smile about fighting alongside Samurai. Yeah, see, he's generally just kind of a pissy dude. There's so many of them. The gates won't hold forever. We need to thin their numbers before they can breach the walls. I'll take the left flank and break their advance. At this point, the main goal is less to break their advance and just to fucking kill as many of them as we can. Where's Morrigan at? Although these guys are weak enough that it's not actually going to be posing much of an issue until later, so that's pretty cool. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Which faction do you think the zombies will have a better chance against? Which faction will have a better chance against the zombies? Truthfully, probably the United Cities. They tend to just have better equipment and are able to hold their own against for longer. Although from what I was hearing from Frankie, by the end of phase 2, because there's 3 phases to the infection, by the end of phase 2, the zombies are so strong they're taking out entire cities. Like, without your intervention, they'll take out entire cities. It's true, guys. Remember to like the stream. It helps with engagement. Tells YouTube that you know, I'm a stream worth sharing. Right? So do remember to like the stream. Helps a ton. How do you know when you go to the next phase? There are unique zombies that will spawn during raids, right? And you'll know that they're the unique ones because I have a mod that removes the weapons from all zombies that are not the unique ones. So if a zombie spawns with a weapon and they die, killing them triggers the world state, which will basically cause the infection to go to the next tier. So there's multiple zombies. So I think in tier 1 there's 2 that you have to kill that will cause the infection to you know, evolve. And then tier 2 there's another like 2 or 3 more. And then tier 3, you're not actually supposed to survive tier 3, but we're going to try. Tier 3 is when things get real nasty. Tier 3 is when things get real nasty. And that's the end goal for this playthrough, is to survive tier 3. That atomic glass laying around. Yeah, a lot of zombies out here. A lot of them. All right, so we need to find a city that we can base in. We have, what do we have on us for supply? All right, we have food. That's good. We have food in here too, right? Yeah, we have a ton of food. I remember now. I remember now. We found a caravan and raided a caravan. Okay. So we got to figure out where we're gonna head to and where we're gonna stay temporarily while we're waiting for things to happen. Way stations and whatnot are gonna end up falling once we hit phase 2. Phase 1 way stations will have a hard time. By phase 2, they'll be done. There'll be no surviving for the way stations and whatnot. Do you think you killed any of the named ones yet? No, I haven't. I know I haven't. I know that I haven't. Although there's a chance that an NPC has, so who knows? Who knows? We're not allowed in Holy Nation territory. Arthur was banished from the Holy Nation. His whole family was banished from the Holy Nation, so we're not allowed in Oakernite territory. Trying to find a decent spot with good vantage point. It may be worth setting up in Flats Lagoon. There's not a house in Flats Lagoon that we can buy, is there? I don't remember. I don't think there is. We could go to Shark, too. Shark seems to be pretty large. Probably hold up in Shark for a while. Shark, Mongrel. It's a tough one. That is a tough one. Hey, what's going on? We're just trying to figure out where we're going to buy a house. We'll work towards buying a house. We're holding off Hordes of the Undead. And we got to work towards buying a house somewhere where we can, start to build up our numbers and defenses and whatnot before we end up building a base. Plus, I'd like to get out of this area of the desert. My God, look at them all. Those are all zombies up there. New playthrough? Yes, new series. Episode 2 of a brand new series. We're fighting Hordes of the Undead. Hordes of the Undead. Indeed. Indeed, yes. This is episode 2 of a new series. Forgot you were streaming today. What's up and what I miss? Oh, World's End's a good idea. Yeah, we could base up in World's End temporarily. It's up high in the mountains. It might buy us a little bit of reprieve. A little bit of a reprieve. World's End is not a bad idea, at least until we're ready to build a base. How about an island you can shoot the zombies while they're swimming hopelessly? That is an option, but you also have to think about, from a narrative perspective, would they go out and set up on an island? I don't know if they'd think to do that, right? Like, I don't know if Arthur and them would think to do that, although the Avalon Isles might be a good spot to set up out here. Somewhere out there near the Avalon Isles or in that general vicinity. This island is busy, right? That one's busy. I heard Black Scratch is lovely this time of year. I think crossbows are the way to go along with harpoons. Oh, yeah, no, we're going to have... This is probably the first time I'm actually going to have, like, a proper archery unit. Proper archery unit. So many of them. Any weapon that deals extra damage against humans, too, will also do extra damage against cannibals, because... not cannibals, sorry. Zombies, because they are technically considered human in the game files. They're a subspecies of human. What are you? You're a tech hunter? Okay. What do they say? The walls are cracked. I see a section near the southeast gate that's been patched and scrapped with timber. One good charge and it's coming down. Then we should be out there fortifying it, not standing around jawing about. But no, Father wants to talk about every merchant and mercenary with 2 cats to rub together. Jesus Christ, man. You see what I'm saying? He's got some fucking... He's got some anger issues against his father. And what would you propose we do? Attack everyone nearby. That isn't human. No. Shut up and follow orders. Yeah, boy's got some lip on him. Boy's got some lip on him. He's looking for numbers. We can't hold the breach in just 4 blades and a prayer to a god that doesn't answer. You'd sell your own mother for a few cats, wouldn't you? The dead are at the gates and all you see is profit. Jesus Christ, man. Prayers don't need answering when you've got a good sword arm, but I suppose trusting a Shek with fortifications is better than trusting a skeleton with your back. My God, man. Yeah, dude's got some lip. He's got some fucking lip. Oh my God, dude, they're just going at it. They're literally all fighting right now. It's so funny. They're all just fighting with each other right now. I mean, it's mostly Luke causing Luke on one side, Ruka and Morrigan on another. But Jesus. Okay. Yeah, World's End is the way to go then. That boy ain't right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. All right, we're gonna head up north towards Bast. We fought as many as we can, but they aren't going to stop anytime soon. Let's make a break for Bast. Can use the cover, the war, to head to the World's End Mountains without being sighted by the paladins. He's 100% Holy Nation shit talking. Oh yeah. No, that's what he does. But that's the whole thing, right? Like he became a devout paladin, a member of the Holy Nation. I mean, he was a member of the Holy Nation, obviously, but he became a devout paladin, and he became so intrinsically devout as a member of the Holy Nation because he thought that would be what earned his father's respect. And now that his dad's been kicked out of the Holy Nation for doing something that is frankly bad in his eyes, which is defying the Phoenix, he's got this weird conflict of personality where it's like, hey, the guy that I've modeled myself after this entire time is not who I thought he was. He's not the devout Holy Nation paladin that I thought he was, the guy that I modeled myself after. But also, he's my dad, and I also love my sister, and I want to protect them. But intellectually, mentally, emotionally, from a fundamental perspective, they don't line up anymore. So it's interesting to see how they engage with each other. All right. Bast is Holy Nation territory. Walking back into the shadow feels like walking into the fire I just escaped. But if you say, oh yeah, Morgan's not happy about it. But if you say the only path, I'll bury my doubts and follow. The war in Bast means chaos. Chaos means nobody's watching the back roads. It's risky, but it's smarter than trying to slip past paladin patrols in open country. See, she's smart. Any ground that lets us move without a blade at our backs is good. I've crossed worse than a war Z. I'm assuming she meant a war zone. Yeah, we'll see how they continue to interact with each other. But my God, man, that place was a war zone. Absolute fucking war zone back there. So we're gonna head up towards the World's Mountains. I also want to see if we can use the cover of Bast, the war in Bast, to try and get to try and get some armor for Luke. Some proper paladin armor for Luke. The boy can use it. Because he ain't right. Boy ain't right. God damn, it's getting dark. Getting real dark. Jesus Christ, it's getting real dark. Gotta wait for the moon to pop out. Sun's going down. Is it just gonna stay this dark? It could get brighter any second now. Any minute now. There we go. All right, it's starting to brighten up now. All right, so we're going to use the war here as cover. God damn, is my... Hold on, I gotta check and see if my auto adjust is on. Oh, it's not auto exposure. There we go. Okay. I'm like, why is it so dark? My auto exposure wasn't on. That's why. I probably turned it off for filming earlier. Sometimes when I'm filming, it'll like the exposure levels will change, and it's super frustrating when it happens. No, no, no. I just had my auto exposure turned off on dust, so it was super dark. I turn it on and off depending. All right, we're gonna move through Bast. We're moving through Bast. We're gonna move through Bast, cut up through here, and then we should be able to get up into the World's End Mountains without an issue. Hello, Artemis. Welcome. Welcome. How have y'all been? I've been. Could you do 50 Swamp Raptors versus 25 Rebel Farmers in the arena for a boss video? I don't know how long they last. I had so many old man jokes for yesterday. Although, you know, honestly, despite the fact that that Bayan and Seto got their shit rocked early on, I was actually really happy with the last Kenshi Coliseum from Saturday. Mukai and Asada put up one hell of a fight. I will die on the hill. Mukai and Asada put up a hell of a fight. Also, visually, I thought that was probably one of my best videos that I've done for Kenshi Coliseum. Like, I thought the quick cuts, the you know, semi, like, not shaking camera, but the kind of like more free-handed camera style of it all. You know, all the motion blur, all of it came out really well. I was really happy with it. One of my favorite videos that I've done thus far. Why is that on your hand? I have a repetitive stress injury on my hand, specifically in my thumb and up through my index and middle finger, because between editing, recording, streaming, and my work with lo-fi and all the other stuff, I have not taken a day off in 3.5 weeks, and my hand fucking hurts. My hand hurts. So I got a compression sleeve, a little compression thing for my hand for while I'm actually working and streaming and doing all that stuff. And then I have a thumb stabilizer for when I'm sleeping. Science, it's Science birthday. Everybody say happy birthday to San. Everybody say happy birthday to San. Happy birthdays in the chat, everybody. Come on, we need some happy birthdays in the chat for our lad over here. Same, I wear one. I couldn't play any games from early February until a few weeks ago. Jeez, that sucks. Yeah, I have Gamer's Thumb. Like, it's called Gamer's Thumb. It's also called Gamekeeper's Thumb, or there's something else that it's called too, but I don't remember what the other one is. But there's like 3 names for it. But yeah, I gave myself Gamer's Thumb. But you know, this is my job. I can't afford to not just like take a bunch of time off. So what I'm doing is instead hoping that the thumb stabilizer, you know, a healthy dose of ibuprofen several times a day, the thumb stabilizer, and the compression sleeve during the day will help. And my wife is also demanding that once I get my shit figured out, and like I'm caught up, that I take at least 1 full day off a week, because like I said, I haven't taken a day off between editing, recording, streaming, and everything else in like 3.5, 4 weeks. It's been a while, so you know, here you go. What's the goal of this playthrough? We are a small group now. That is trying to survive an oncoming zombie apocalypse. Here are the zombies. There they are. Look at them. Filthy, decrepit zombies. Rotting, disgusting creatures. And they will get progressively harder as the playthrough goes on. And eventually they will Eventually, they'll be so damn difficult that they're nigh unstoppable. Oh, we got zombie runners now too. Interesting. Gotta love the zombie. Yeah, you gotta love the zombies. All right, we're gonna hold position. We're gonna try and All right. I'm gonna yell to Ruka actually because I always yell to Luke. Have I installed the Hydra mod in any playthrough? Not in a long, long time. I can't wait. I can't wait to lose our wife and kids. I mean, the goal is that obviously no one will, Luke, Morrigan, and Arthur won't die. Ruka, if it happens, it happens. But the goal, these three are the main characters. Arthur being the mainest of characters, but the goal is that that's not going to happen. Brace yourselves. What's the lore for this series so far? Well, hold on. Actually, let me just pull up my character sheet and I'll show you the lore for it so far. Where is it? Character bio. Start with that. Kind of pull it up. Where is this part of it? Hold on. I'm giving you the lore. I'll just read you Arthur's backstory. We already lost a kid? No. I'm just going to read you Arthur's backstory. Arthur was born into the Holy Nation, the son of a low-ranking farmer in the fertile lands east of Oakran's Valley. From his earliest memory, he understood that the world was divided cleanly into the faithful and the damned. His father was a devout man who tithed without complaint and attended every sermon. His mother kept the household in strict accordance with the Holy Phoenix's decree. Arthur showed early promise as a fighter, tall even as a youth, broad-shouldered, and possessed a grim determination that the temple priests noted with approval. He was inducted into paladin training at the age of 14, and by 20 he had earned the full rank of paladin. Assigned to the border garrison, he patrolled the edges of Holy Nation territory against Shek raids and bandit incursions. It was during this border posting that Arthur first encountered the gap between doctrine and reality. He fought alongside men who were brave and faithful, but strategic and foolish. Witnessed commanders make decisions based on prayer rather than reconnaissance, and saw non-human settlements that were neither the dens of depravity nor the nest of savagery that the priests described from their pulpits. He said nothing. He kept his observations locked behind his stoic exterior and performed his duties with the excellence of a paladin of Okran, because doubt was heresy, and heresy was death, and more importantly, because he had met and married a woman named Alara, a gentle, clever woman who saw through the cracks of his armor and loved him for not his faith, but for his integrity. Alara bore for him 2 children, Luke, born when Arthur was 19, and Morrigan, born 2 years later. The family was stationed at a mid-ranking garrison town, and for a time Arthur knew happiness that he had never thought to expect, a warmth that existed entirely separate from the cold certainty of Holy Nation doctrine. Then disease swept through the settlement. The priests called it a test of faith, but Arthur called it a fever that took his wife in 3 days while he watched helplessly. Holding her hand through the final night as Luke, barely 10 years old, stood in the doorway and young Morrigan clinging to his arm. Alara's death shattered something in Arthur that was never rebuilt. He did not lose his faith immediately. That would come later. But he lost his comfortable certainty in Okran's light. That Okran's light protected the worthy. He poured himself into his duties with his renewed ferocity, raising in the rank to become a respected field commander while simultaneously becoming both mother and father to his children. I lost my spot. Where was I at? Oh, there he is. He raised Luke with discipline of a paladin instructor, recognizing the boy's fiery temperament and channeling it towards military excellence. He sheltered Morrigan with the vigilance of a man who had already lost the one woman he could not live without, keeping her within the safe walls of the Holy Nation tradition. Even as he privately questioned whether those walls were truly built for her protection or her containment. The turning point came after a long-range scouting mission into the wastelands north of Holy Nation territory. Arthur and a small squad penetrated deeper into the uncharted territory than any patrol had ventured in years, following reports of unusual mass migrations, entire swarms of fauna fleeing southward as though driven by something terrible. What they found defied comprehension. A horde of reanimated corpses, numbering in the tens of thousands at minimum, shambling southward in a tide of rotting flesh and hollow hunger. Arthur watched from a ridge for nearly an hour, his scouts training wearing with disbelief. Before his squad turned around and rode hard for Holy Nation Command. He presented his findings to the High Paladins and Temple Priests with the calm precision of a veteran soldier. He provided terrain analysis, movement predictions, estimated numbers, and clear recommendations. The Holy Nation needed to mobilize immediately, fortify the northern approaches, and coordinate with whatever forces could be mustered, including non-human militias and independent settlements. The reaction was immediate and absolute. The priest declared his report impossible. The dead do not walk, for Okran's light banishes all darkness. When Arthur refused to recant, citing that what he had witnessed with his own eyes, the atmosphere shifted from dismissal to accusation. His pragmatism, his willingness to protect, to ally with non-humans, his suggestion that Holy Nation forces alone might not be sufficient, all of it was framed as evidence of corruption and heresy. Of a paladin who had strayed from the light. The sentence was pronounced with terrifying swiftness. Arthur and his family were to be purified by the flame. Arthur did not hesitate. He had seen what was coming, and he knew that dying for the Phoenix's pride would not protect his children. That night, he collected Luke and Morrigan, told them only that they were leaving, and fled into the wasteland with nothing but the weapons on their back and the clothes they wore. Since that night, Arthur has operated on a single-minded clarity with the purpose that even his former comrades would find unsettling. He would begin recruiting anyone willing to fight, regardless of race or creed. He made contact with skeleton caravans, Shek warbands, and independent settlements, offering them the same stark truth. The dead are coming, and only the living can stop them. He does not preach, he does not persuade with the faith or rhetoric. He presents the facts, outlines the threat, and offers a place in the line. Those who join him find a commander who is fair, demanding, and utterly without sentiment. A man who has already lost everything that mattered and will not lose what remains because he was too proud or too faithful to find what was necessary. To do what was necessary, sorry. So that is my that is the backstory for the playthrough. That is the backstory for the playthrough. Well, I appreciate your ASMR reading. I felt like asking JC, who are you, with that response. I was wondering what you've done in the playthrough thus far. Oh, literally nothing. Not much. We recruited Ruka. I mean, it's only episode 2. We recruited Ruka. We've done a little bit of exploring. That's it. That's all we've done. But I usually give the backstory on these anyway, so. Is that a combination of what backstory you provided or the recent events from the area or entirely your authorship? Oh, that was written by me today. That's why I was late. I was finishing up doing that. That's why I was late by 5 minutes, because I was finishing writing that. That's just the backstory for what happened prior to the playthrough, like prior to the stream starting. Are the zombies attacking all towns in Kenshi, or just attacking player settlements only? Every town. Eventually, every town will fall. The zombies will get stronger and stronger until eventually they can take down whole towns. So right now we've got a horde coming at us. Small horde. Oh shit. Oh shit. Take that man down. Oh, you know what else I need to do? I need to fix my Kenshi. I have my attack modifier set down. 50! My God, you've given me more than 24 hours of entertainment. Well earned. Thank you so much. My God, right off the fucking bat, my guy. You absolute unit. Thank you, thank you. You absolute beast. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Money. Exactly. Thank you so much. It's you guys. Your donations help in more ways than you realize. They're what allows me to continue doing this as I move to full time and whatnot. Whereas I moved to full-time. I am full-time now. So I sincerely appreciate it, guys. Much appreciated. Nice to see AUD to USD transfer in the bar. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it does that. It's fine. It's good. Listen, I'll take $1. I don't care. I'm happy with whatever you guys are willing to give me. Just because that's, that's part of it. I'm just happy that you guys are excited and willing to sit down and listen to me babble and talk about Kenshi lore and fucking go off about all these things, Go off about random crap. What was your job before? Oh, so I can actually, I can say it now that it's not my job. I've had a lot of people ask me what I did before, and I've always been hesitant to say it because of what it was. It's gonna come to a shock to you guys. It's gonna come to a bit of a shock, but I'll be open about what I did before. So prior to this, I was a junior vice president of account management for a private investigations company, and I specialized in insurance fraud, specifically specifically insurance fraud. So I was deeply involved in the healthcare and legal system in rooting out insurance fraud. Yeah, I was a junior vice president of a national company that junior vice president of account management for a national company that handled insurance fraud. So, yep, that was what I did. With your personality, it doesn't surprise me. I honestly, I would think that more people would be surprised by it because I'm, kind of a nerd. And oh shit, Morgan's in rough shape. We got more. Oh yeah, we need to get moving. Need to get moving. Okay. Grab. Can't take them all, and she is wounded. All right, so Luke, you need to go pick her up. We need to move. In the U.S., that would be a ceaseless job. Yeah, I mean, it was a ceaseless job, the thing is like, I was good at it, but I never wanted to do it. I did it because I was good at it. And celebrates 1 membership of 1 month of membership here in your head. You're a hero in mine as well. Thank you so much. No, I mean, it was I did it because I was good at it, never because I wanted to do it. Truthfully, sometimes it just makes you feel icky. Like, not because I ever did anything unethical, right? Like, it has nothing to do with ethics. But, like, you can only look at, because I did everything by the book. I'm an ethical person. I would never do anything that was unethical or anything like that. But it makes you feel gross because, like, you have to look at some of the most degenerate human beings on the planet. And you have to look at them from a non-bias perspective, and you have to look at them for the merits of the case, regardless of the crimes they have committed. I've unfortunately had to do deep dive investigations on some of the most inhuman people that you could even begin to, like, you could even fathom. I've had to, unfortunately, listen to case dockets and watch footage and all that stuff of some of the most horrific events that have ever taken place. It's terrible. And it takes a toll on you. And aside from that, it's also just a heavily corporatized environment. And a lot of people have heard me go off about my dislike of corporate environments. And a lot of it stems from that. I dislike the corporate field because it's just so much corporate doublespeak. It's bullshit. I don't like it. So, between your amazing content and the Sentient Sands mod, I am more hooked than ever before on Kenshi. Thank you for hard work and amazing videos. Thank you for the 10. Much appreciated, you absolute fucking unit. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it's just, it's tough. It's tough. But, I did it for a number of years. I was good at it. But the pay was good. The pay was good for, what it was. Could have been better. Could have been better. Definitely could have been better. It was all right for a time, although admittedly where I was at, the pay, there was some issues with the pay structure that ended up happening, but that caused things to get a little shittier, that's for sure. And I had quite a few disagreements with them regarding that, but we're not going to dive too much into that. Did it ever feel like an episode of SVU? Unfortunately, yeah. It did. Unfortunately, it did sometimes. Much to my chagrin. Things get messy. People can be gross. I will say I do have a fair share of of really funny stories to go with it too. But you know, for every really funny case you get 3 or 4 monsters. So companies really be looking at people going, God, just be less human. It's not hard. Yeah, no, quite literally. Yeah. Yep. So, but I was happy to finally be out. I was happy to finally be out. Like I said, I did it only because I was good at it, not because I ever enjoyed it. And I always wanted to do something better. Plus, I don't know, I want to do something. I've always wanted to do something that was more creative. But no details. But have you ever directly solved any cases like your evidence seal away a perp? Well, so we primarily focused on like insurance fraud. So, well, I can't say that we directly got anyone thrown in jail per se. We did get, yeah, there were people that got thrown in jail. We caught, I've been involved in like multi-million-dollar fraud investigations, all of that stuff. People are wild. People are wild. So I've been involved in cases where people manage to actually fake their own death and collect the insurance money on themselves, like the whole nine. I mean, it's wild stuff. I've seen some pretty fucked up CCTV footage a few times. I've had to read case transcripts for some pretty awful people. Not good stuff. Not good stuff. But what are you gonna do? Well, thanks for doing good things, but on the flip side, because we primarily focus on insurance fraud, sometimes there were good people that just needed a helping hand, that because they, were out mowing their lawn one time, they get their benefits. Not that I ever had a hand, like, got the final say. I need to clarify, I didn't have final say in any of this shit, right? Like, my job was to work with the companies, work with the attorneys, set up, surveillance, social media, any kind of investigation that was being done, all of that stuff. And, then review the footage, review surveillance, find details, all of that jive. And partner with the attorneys and the people at the insurance companies, give them the evidence, tell them my recommendations for how to proceed if they need additional assistance or anything else set up, and then we go from there. But ultimately, the companies that I was doing work for got final say. So I want to clarify that. But sometimes you have somebody who was really just down on their luck, had a shitty time, and then they get injured, but because they go out and mow their lawn because they have no one else to do it, suddenly they don't get their insurance claim because we have footage of them going out and mowing the lawn or doing stuff like that. And that always made me feel fucking gross, because like some people just need a bit of a help. But on the flip side of that, you also have people that are very clearly taking advantage of the situation, and then they're repeat offenders, and you're like, well, what the fuck? Why are we even looking at this? Like, why do I have to waste my time going out there investigating it? Obviously, they're faking it. They faked it fucking 4 times. Like, I don't, that's a thing. I did spend, speaking most inhuman, so nursing home owners, I will not bring up that job ever again. Speaking of nursing home, I spent specifically 6 months investigating elderly abuse, too. That was awful. Didn't really fucking enjoy that. Anyways, back to Kenshi. Yeah, back to the good stuff. Back to the stuff I enjoy. This is my job now. I don't have to do that shit anymore. I don't have to look at that stuff anymore. I look at Kenshi and I talk about how this world's falling apart. Yeah, we do Kenshi stuff here. These zombies better than Dust Bandits yet? No, that's not till Phase 2. Phase 2 is when they really get bad. It was a vicious tree frog attack. All right, so I hope there's not much there's not really zombies up here. I hope that they are able to hold. This seems like it's probably our best bet. This is the house that's for sale. Yeah, so we need 28,000 to buy a house up here. We need 28,000 to buy a house up here. What is the cost for getting a tech hunter bed? We must force you not to go back. That's true. That's true. I never want to go back. It was stress. It was unnecessary stress. Unnecessary stress, and it starts to make you feel a little detached from things. You know, it's not great. Not great. What triggers the phases, time or the events? The phases are triggered by killing specific zombies that appear during raids, like during outpost raids. So things won't get particularly terrible until you start dealing with raids. Though I don't know if the raids will spawn for, what is it, for like normal cities if you're here long enough. I'm not sure, but I had a funny thought, and I had a funny thought is that Cross and the Armor King had a bro rivalry on who would be better quality equipment in their own mastery. That's so funny. Can you imagine Cross and the Armor King having some kind of like weird rivalry with each other? Armor King, saving lives with armoring. All right, we'll rent 2 beds. Them rest up. How we doing stat-wise? Luke's actually got really good stats in terms of attack, but it's mostly because of his equipment. He's got that +8 melee attack. In fact, it's entirely because of his equipment. Only one of them is left standing, so the Armor King won. It's true. It's true. It's true. No, guys, your donations are what helps me not have to go back. You guys are the ones that saved me from not having to go back. So thank you so much. I sincerely appreciate it. Do you think World's End was just a bare mountain back in the Second Empire? No, because this building right here, this is an ancient citadel or an ancient lab. This is a First Empire building. The presence of this building means that the World's End was being used for something during the First Empire in some capacity. And we know that the Second Empire was all about repurposing and reconfiguring, so I sincerely doubt that they left it alone. The presence of this building makes me believe that no, it was not, Oh shit, there are zombies in the city. There are zombies in the city. I don't know how many, but there are zombies in the city. They're getting more dangerous, man. They're getting more dangerous. Yeah, they're rushing the city. How many of them are there? Is it just a small pack? It's a small pack, but there are more coming. Yeah, there's more. Look at them. You can see them funneling up. They're coming. They're coming. Zazan bebes. What are the dialogue between our groups? What has been going on with that? Arthur say, probably deserved it. Figures, Luke, grab your sister. Run, we can't take them all. Run, we don't run from a fight. I can still hold them off, Father. Luke, listen to him. I'm no good to anyone out here. We need to fall back and regroup. That's so funny. The young ones are right to argue, but the wound doesn't lie. I'll cover the retreat. Go now before they flank us. Like this is what they were yelling as we were trying to run from the zombies. Like, this is so good. It's such good dialogue. After we ran, we should have stayed and fought. Running leaves a bad taste in my mouth. What kind of warrior turns tail? Ruka, the kind that lives to fight another day. Your sister's blood would be on your hands if we had stayed. A dead warrior is no warrior at all. She would have been wounded. Wouldn't have been wounded if we held the line properly. Father's caution is getting us all killed slowly instead of quickly. Jesus Christ. Caution kept her alive. You mistake recklessness for courage. There's no honor in throwing your life away against a tide that cannot be stopped. I'd rather hear them coming. And what would a Shek know about honor? You're here because your own people cast you out. Oh, fuck, man. He's rude as hell. When will I be live until? Probably about 11:30 midnight. I have a couple things I got to do later this evening, but probably 11:30 midnight. Your own people cast you out. Maybe if you stood and fought instead of running, you'd still have a home. God damn, dude. What a fucking dick. Oh my god. What if Agnew was crossed before the torture? Makes sense why Mato hasn't been made in years, and the Herclue could fit. Oh, maybe. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. Hell yeah. Dude, Luke's gonna get stabbed at this rate. My god. Silence means the Horde is regret. Okay, my exile is my own burden, but I did not lose my honor in the desert. I found it again in these bones. You would do well to learn the same before your pride eats you alive. Fine, but we need to find the high ground before dawn. If they catch us before the base, we'll see. Yeah, dude, like, holy shit, man. He's a fucking, oh my god. Is that Eastern time? Yeah, I'll be up until 11:30 midnight Eastern Standard Time. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. Holy shit, dude. He's cruising for a fucking bruise, man. Ruka's gonna kick his ass. I hate Luke, and that's why he's great. I mean, you gotta have that one character that just makes you mad. Just makes you mad. What are some nicknames you have in mind for the Shek would give to other characters like they have for Tin Fist and the Tin Fist the Metal Bird? I don't know. I'd have to think on that. Yeah, we got zombies. We got zombies. Get out here and fight a couple more. Luke is an Ochre Knight, right? Like that's his whole thing. He is what you'd expect an Ochre Knight to be like in this circumstance. He's doing this. He is only on the run right now and only working with a Shek because his dad said so. Fucking wrist hurts. Fucking zombies for days, man. Maybe Cross was the first Empire company that was high. That's why extremely high quality. Hence, why many of them would be on an industrial planet. I mean, there's so much we don't know. I hope that we find out who Cross is in Kenshi too. I hope so much. Wasn't the Armor King a security model as well? No, Armor King is not a security model. He's a worker drone. He's what would have been considered the worker version of the skeletons. The base model, the more common model. This model right here. Right there. That's the Armor King. Armor King. Armor King. Why are there so many lost labs in Shun? I don't remember where Shun is off the top of my head. There's so many locations. Down here. Well, if we look at what was in the nearby area, this was like, this is the crater. It was likely an area where they were using some kind of nuclear energy, right? Some kind of nuclear power. And we know that because of the presence of atomic glass or trinitite that's in the area. Probably atomic glass, though. The presence of atomic glass in the area, as well as them taking out the size of the explosion, all that stuff. But so we know that they used this area for some kind of nuclear experimentation, right? And presumably the nuclear devices were created during the First Empire. And so it would be reasonable to expect that they had, so many ancient labs around here because this was an area of high science, high innovation, high, technological advancement in this area. I mean, they had the grid, which was originally, presumably during the First Empire, a power plant of a power system of some kind. During the Second Empire, it was used as Aztec floating farms. Chinampas, I think is what Chinampas. Aztec floating farms. Nuclear devices here, likely some kind of nuclear device here, some kind of device here that caused the issues in Iraq. I mean, this area was just heavily used for experimentation, science, technological advancement during the First Empire. Which is probably why there's so many ancient labs down there, just because it was an area of just high civilization. It was likely just an area where a lot of people were at, a lot of industry was happening, A lot of science and whatnot was there. A lot of investment in science was there. It would make sense because it seems like the First Empire, well, they had a presence all across the map. You'll notice they seem to have had a higher presence in the southern portion of the map, right? So like you have the Ashlands, an area of high megalithic infrastructure, right? You have Shun, an area of high technological advancements, right? You have lots of labs, lots of ancient science labs, evidence of nuclear energy, evidence of sophisticated power systems and power plants set up. Um, you have all of the megalithic structures in Catan and the boneyards, the things that look like satellites and space stations that maybe fell from orbit, and or spaceships that had landed here at some point and then have rusted away over the eons. Flats Lagoons, a massive platform that was presumably used as like an oil rig or some kind of setup like that. Like there was a lot of industry. The Ark over here, the Ark in this area, which was an old factory, right? This southern portion was where the vast majority of the First Empire seems to have been located, right? This was where a lot of their infrastructure was set up. This Deadlands was an area of mining to the north for them. It was an area of heavy refinery for oil drilling and mining. Iron was strip mined out of the Iron Valley. Ore was drilled and pumped out. And there's tar sands everywhere and pipes everywhere that kind of back that up. This area was all about drilling for oil and mining for iron. Presumably, Obedience was some kind of giant crucible or forge, I'm assuming, or an area of industry. And then up here in the Floodlands was where the skeletons were made. But like beyond like these three areas, there's not a ton of sophisticated, highly advanced forms of technology that are in the northern areas that are related to the First Empire that we see. The vast majority of like high First Empire structures are all in the southern portion of the map. So I find that really interesting. Find that really, really interesting. All right, let's continue to fight off the zombies. Yeah, dude, they're coming from everywhere. Coming from everywhere. If there's one thing here was done to affect my playthrough, it's looking at the ecological details, like identifying the lay of the land and saying water must have been here within the last 1,000 years. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. That's what we do. That's what we do here, guys. We identify the ecological details. I think beakers, spiders, fishmen, and skimmers are all natives. I think the fishmen and the skimmers have a chance of being native. So I think the fishmen have a chance. I think the skimmers are likely native. The beak things I'm on the fence about, and the spiders I'm really on the fence about. Skin spiders I don't think are native. If I had to pick any native creature, I'm gonna have to say it's probably the Leviathans. Leviathans, Garu, and skimmers. I think everything else, probably not. Probably not. Funniest headcanon is imagining that the First Empire is still active on the planet that Kenshi orbits. They just don't bother to come fix the situation. Too much work. Cross has to be a person, most likely a human. If each weapon is such a masterpiece, they don't rust and don't need sharpening. Probably took years to make one, so with each weapon being creative with methods skeletons can't replicate, it's probably one of the reasons there isn't hundreds of weapons of that quality. Each took time to be made. Or the material that was used was finite, you know? It could just be that it was a really finite material that they don't have access to anymore. Some kind of old, high advanced technology or anything that they just don't have access to anymore. Some kind of unique and rare material. I think the fact that they are like swords and stuff make me lean more towards the probability that they were Second Empire. But yeah, I think it's just a material thing. I personally hope that Cross was a female Scorchlander. I think that'd be funny. I think that'd be great. Like, I think it would just throw off. It would be such a subversion of expectations that I think it'd be fantastic. I think it would be utterly fantastic. Such a subversion of expectations. You know what? I'm gonna put Morrigan in this here gi. I'm gonna put Morrigan in the gi. Scorchlanders do have extra smithing gains as well. It's true. It's true. Yeah, I feel like a female Scorchlander would just be perfect. Utterly perfect for the circumstances. All right, we need to find a way to make some money. That's going to be an area where we're really going to struggle with this, is finding a way to make money right now. If it was the thing of materials, there should be many more Mayto weapons. I mean, it depends on whether or not... If it was a thing of materials with finite materials, there wouldn't be. Right? Like, if it was a matter of there's a very finite number of materials, then not. Or it could be that there is Mayto weapons in other parts of the map. We just don't have access to them, or many of them were lost away. Or maybe they're locked away in some vault underground that isn't accessible in Kenshi. I mean, there's a lot of potential avenues you could take for why there's only one of each kind, but... You know, if it's from some kind of unique alloy, that wouldn't necessarily mean that there's more Mayto weapons. It could very well not mean that. What is this? Oh, it's just a long coat. Okay. Alrighty. It's always the tried and true method of mining copper for cats. That's true. That's true. Although I tend to try and avoid that method because it's boring to watch for a stream. But we need money and we need bodies. Those are the two things that we need. We need money and bodies. I do think that basing up here is the right move, the smart move. But we need to also find a way to make money in the interim, and trying to decide how to do that. If the Paladins cross a new schematic and exclusively to the Holy Nation, the Mayto Paladins cross could have been made by Cross as a slave smith. I mean, potentially. My thought with the Paladins cross is that, like, all evidence, in my opinion, points to Cross being a Second Empire resident, not a First. Someone unique in the Second Empire, because the First Empire, like, firstly, why would they be making like weapons the way that they are, right? Why would they be making these kinds of weapons? What would be the purpose of making a Mayto fragment axe during the First Empire, an area of high technology and megalithic structures? It doesn't make any sense. What makes more sense to me is that the Cross is a smith that was alive during the Second Empire, when technology had regressed to the point that they were using melee weapons again. They were using jites, they were using katanas, they were using nodachis and stuff like that. And it also would make sense as to why there's things like the Paladin's Cross and stuff like that, because it would have been around the same time that the exodus of the Holy Nation maybe took place. You know? Would have been interesting. Imagine the name of the cross is not a name but a title, like the Phoenix given to a smith who reached equality, but the last person with that name died at the fall of the Second Empire without passing down their skills. That's an interesting idea as well. Very interesting idea as well. Plot twist, Cross was for friends we made around the way. It's true. Cross is actually just the player. All right, we're going to pop in here and see what these fools have to say. See what these guys have to say. Actually, you know what? All right. Here's the thing. Arthur is a pretty thoughtful man in terms of like how he goes about things. I don't think he's just gonna walk in and start ranting and raving like a lunatic. He's gonna approach the barkeep. Greetings. Approach the barkeep and speak with them. We're looking for some recruits, but I also want to make sure we're going about this in a way that makes sense for how Arthur would behave, how he would interact with people. Talk to the barkeeper here. Goat Chew. The barkeep's name is Goat Chew. I think the Foreign Saber would make no sense if it was First Empire. There's a cross version. And that's the thing, right? The Foreign Saber specifically says that it was favored by the skeletons of the Black Desert City. The skeletons of the Black Desert are skeletons that were directly from the Second Empire that fled to the Black Desert after Catlan went insane. as a way to exile themselves from humanity because they feel they're responsible and incapable of helping humanity. They think they're only a detriment. So they exile themselves to the center of what at the time was a sea of acid, and formed a settlement that, you know, would protect them and keep them away from everyone else and everyone else away from them. The presence of the foreign saber makes no sense if it was a first empire. If it's first empire, it has to be a second empire weapon. It has to be. Which means that Cross was around during the Second Empire. I think the theory could explain why. Oh, is it? Imagine. Oh, yeah, why the he or she thing on the Cross title. I agree. I mean, yeah, that's one way to go around it too. Is it Cross is a title that's given. The Cross weapons could have been the original versions of these weapons, and people later made imperfect replicas with the varying races used now. That's also a potential. That's cool. That's also a potential. Who says someone can't make a reproduction? I mean, all evidence on Kenshi says so far. Hero, why do you think the skeletons didn't try to overthrow Catlan when he went mad? Couple reasons for that. One, his fall from grace was megalithic, even to the skeletons. Megalithic, even to the skeletons. He was their hero. He was their, he led them during the Civil War, presumably. Based on my Catlan is Okran theory, which I think has a ton of evidence to support. And at this point, I consider it my canon. There's so much evidence to back it up. So if you support the idea that Catlan was the leader of the pro-human faction during the Age of Chaos in a Skeleton Civil War, he was their hero figure. He led them. He rebuilt civilization. He was representative of everything that they were trying to do. He was basically the embodiment of Stobe, in the same way that Okran would be the embodiment of he was basically the embodiment of light in the same way that Okran would be the embodiment of Kytrin. You know, like he was like everything to them. And so imagine seeing their hero figure that they also kind of worshipped in many ways. Look at the way they talk about him. They venerate him even now, even after everything he did. They still venerate him to some degree. So I want you to imagine somebody who was the best fighter, the best leader, the kindest, the most benevolent, the most strategic, who led them to victory, who was their leader for hundreds or thousands of years potentially. If he fell, if he, succumbed to madness, what hope do the rest of them have? If the best of them couldn't make things right, why would they rebel? Instead, they fell into despair. They fell into absolute panic and despair because the best among them was incapable of being successful, of being good. So what chance do any of them have? Right? Like, the absolute paragon of their society went insane and became the villain. Catlan was him, literally. And so, when he fell, they were like, what's the point? They didn't respond with violence. They didn't respond with anger. They didn't respond with rebellion. They responded with self-loathing and depression and despair. Because they realized that the best among them was still terrible. They couldn't bring themselves to kill him. Best they can do is exile and containment. Perhaps they hope to find a way to repair him. Most skeletons don't know where he is. They don't know where he is. Almost every skeleton doesn't know where he is. As far as we know, the only person who knows for certain where he is the Bugmaster. Based on all skeletons' dialogue, there are skeleton dialogues that, like books and stuff that were written by skeletons that say, like, what is it? It's something along the lines of like Catlan vanished, but he's still alive out there. People like him don't just die. Like, most skeletons don't know where he is. I doubt Tin Fist even knows where he is anymore. Although Tin Fist is kind of insane himself. I think that most of them don't know where he is. I don't think anybody knows where he is. The Ashlands is dangerous even for skeletons, right? Like it's not like people are, they're just having a romp over there, popping on over. Like the Ashlands is super dangerous. Nobody goes there. Only a handful of people in history over the last 1,000 years have ever gone there and made it back. And most of them were driven mad. So you know. All right, just another drifter looking to trade or stock up on supplies. World's End's been a madhouse lately, but the barter is still good if you got the cats. Appreciate it. I'm curious, though. What are you all doing to deal with the undead raids? Seen them across the entire continent. Dead walking and eating those, eating the living. They batter city walls like crazy, and yet don't see much fortifying. Oh, thank you so much for the $5, you absolute freaking unit. You absolute unit. Much appreciated. To make the goal. We're at the goal, guys. We've done it. We've made it to the goal. Woo. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. I don't see many people preparing for it. I sincerely appreciate it, guys. It's really much appreciated. You know, these daily goals, I don't try to harp on them because, again, I don't ever want to pull like a DSP and be like, guys, you guys aren't making the goal. I'm not going to play the game. If I'm not going to get any support, I'm not going to be playing the game anymore, right? I'm not doing that. That's fucking ridiculous. However, they are what allows me to keep streaming for you guys, 5 nights a week and making content and doing this full time. So I sincerely appreciate it, guys. It's much appreciated. Very helpful. You guys are the whole reason I'm able to do this, and I appreciate it. I wish you could create your guy at the start to be any skeleton model. Me too. I mean, yeah, with mods you can. Zombies, I steer clear of them when I can. The tech hunters here mostly keep their heads down and let the guards and crazies handle the brawling. I just make sure my supplies are packed and my route out of town is always clear. And when the horde gets worse, the guards aren't enough. Don't have an answer for that, do you? Look, I'll cut to the chase. I'm here looking for those who don't want to die to those dead monsters. I want to make a city. I want to make a haven for those trying to just ride this out, but survive it and return to a normal way of life. I'm gonna yell this one. Let's see what anybody else has to say about it. One thing I really hope Kenshi 2 has is character creation, an advanced start option where you can choose the party size, starting point, skill levels, gear, etc. Oh yeah, like a full custom start without having to do an FCS edit would be nice. God, that would make my life so much easier. How crazy would the world of Kenshi be if magic was a thing? Well, in Kenshi 2, since it's going to be on Unreal 5, there's actually the potential for genuine like magic mods to be created, which I'm very stoked about. Very stoked about. A haven? Fine words, but talk is cheap. I've seen plenty of men with big plans end up in shallow graves. What makes you different? Oh, well, I'm pretty sure that wasn't meant to be Luke, but it was there, Okay. I followed you this far, Arthur. If you say we can build something that lasts, I'll put my ability behind it. Yeah, okay. Well, they're getting the discussion going. My son's being a douchebag. Arthur's son's being a douchebag. Kenshi 2 can have Warhammer Fantasy mods. I mean, technically speaking, Kenshi 1 has Warhammer Fantasy mods already. Okay, hold on. Shek baddies? Yeah, we gotta get some Shek baddies. Some Shek baddies. The baddies. There's a lot of people around here. A lot of people around here. Alright, well, we're not gonna have much luck right now. Alright, I think the best bet then is to go find some money. We gotta get a house. Alright, so the goal tonight is to get enough money to buy that house. Get enough money to buy that house. Where nearby can we go that we will be able to get that money? I think if we head down here, we can probably... Oh, we can go recruit Burn. That's an idea. Let's go recruit Burn. Be good to have a skeleton on our hands. Go get Burn. The Burn Man. Fight through the hordes of undead and go get Burn. Buy a house for a family. Well, we're going to buy... Oh, fuck, man. There's more of them. We're going to... Is that one of the beefier ones? Yeah, that's one of the beefy ones with good martial arts. We're going to buy a house for us to base in temporarily while we build up supply because... what is it? The zombies start to increase in intensity and strength once you build an outpost. So if I build an outpost too soon, we're going to get absolutely fucking wrecked. We're going to get absolutely wrecked. If I can make it to the Black Desert at some point, I will pick up the Sad Boy. I will say the zombies are plentiful in the Deadlands. Plentiful. Very plentiful. In my playthrough, I have 13 bulls in the caravan if you want to milk them. There is a mod that lets you do that, I'm pretty sure. It lets you get like cheese and shit and milk. Nifty. Nifty idea. It's neat. So the zombies are acid proof? No, but there's a lot of them. I don't think they are acid proof, but there's a lot of them. Like when we walked past the Deadlands earlier, there was like hundreds of them. Hundreds. Wife Neil. What's with this random shipping of Sad Neil happening right now? I screwed up the burn encounter first. I thought he was in the tower. Oops. Oops. Oops, oops, oops. That'll do it. That'll do it. Alright, we're going to head down and see if we can go grab Burn. There's more zombies. Yeah, more zombies. Those ones are fucking quick, too. We're going to have to make a pit stop. I think. Yeah, because they're getting fast. They're getting real fucking fast, too. I've noticed I think they're getting faster, to be honest with you. We're going to make a pit stop at the Flotsam Ninja. Yeah, they're getting hella fast. Hella fast. And I've noticed some of the runners, they're starting to not have the stat decreases anymore. What about beepers? I'm going to try, but I'm going to level with you. I don't know if Beep's going to be alive by the time we manage to get there. Although I am curious if the zombies are going to be fighting Fogmen. If it's going to be like an all-out war between Fogmen and zombies in the Fog Islands. Arthur, head up first. Not going to give me shit. Fine with it. My sister Nevea, she always forbid me from using the sword. Said I'd end up falling victim to my own clumsiness. Thought I'd wind up stabbing my own eye out with my sword. But then I was never allowed to learn first aid either. She said I'd end up making pincushions of the whole Flotsam squad. Nevea sounds mean. Not at all. She took good care of me. And you know what I am good at? Running. Running free, running from all the chaos, leaving it behind the dusty trail. I love it. So you need a runner? I'm your girl. I'm sure how much. Simple woman. I don't have that much. Sorry. Yeah, I don't. Okay, well, fair enough. What if the Fogman got replaced by zombies? That would be bad. That would be bad. That would be not ideal. Where's Maul at? Malka? A lot of people to talk to here. Are these all unique recruits? Fancy adopting a refugee. If you're willing to train me, I'll work for food and shelter alone. And of course, my fee to the Adventurers Guild, 3,000 cat. Yeah, so there's a bunch of recruits here. Noted. Noted. We might be doing some recruitment here. Oh shit! They're talking shit about the Flotsam Ninjas. These Flotsam Ninjas keep to themselves too much. They whisper about us like we're still Holy Nation spies. I don't trust anyone who won't meet my eye. They've been burned before, Luke. Every woman here lost someone to the Inquisition. Suspicions keep them alive. You do well to learn from it instead of picking fights. Look at them talk shit to each other. The village has both good walls and clean water. That's more than most settlements can boast. I'd rather have suspicious allies than friendly corpses. Luke over here talking shit, man. As he does. As he does. Where is Maul? Oh, there she is. Become allies with the Flotsam. Nowhere in this world are safe. People are either trying to burn us at the stake or they're trying to eat us alive, but at least the cannibals are good for one thing, target practice. The truest words I ever did hear. Anyways, you're here in my space, so I guess you want something. Ask away, I've got nothing better to do till my next target drops. You join me as a worthy comrade. Join you. You know I have a whole army to run, right? Next question. Fair enough, fair enough. Can I join the Flotsam Ninjas? I mean, I already have negatives where my allegiance to Flotsam. Yeah. I already had negative relations with the Holy Nation. I might as well become allies with them. Luke's going to catch a stray bolt in the back. Yeah, I mean, he's really cruising for it. He's really cruising for it. All right, so now we're allies with the Flotsam Ninja, which is good. Riva, huh? You for hire. I am, but not for you, traveler. I serve no man. I served men long enough when I was in the Holy Nation lands. Okay, well, how about Morrigan? Have Morrigan pop in. A woman from the godless lands, huh? Don't get many of those washed up here. Hopefully you talk more sense than everyone else around here. Your talk away. I learned the hard way that there is no god, but a lot of the refugees here, they can't just can't let go of their beliefs in Okran, even after Okran betrayed us all, abandoned us to be left at the mercy of a man. I just can't live amongst this nonsense any longer. I despise it. So you're looking to leave? I am, but I'll serve no man again. Only you, sister. I was trained by the Flotsam Ninjas as an apprentice, although I never quite made it to be a full-fledged paladin basher on account of my anger issues. My fee is 6,000 cats. Okay, so we need money, but we can recruit a good number of people from the Flotsam Ninjas. So good to know. Good to know. Good to know. All right, let's continue our journey towards Burn. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna do something that I don't usually do. I'm gonna break the party. Break the party. Luke, I am headed to scout in the Floodlands. You stay here with your sister in the Floodlands with Ruka. Ruka, you stay here with your sister and don't pick a fight with the Flotsam. Understand? Fine, but if you're not back by nightfall, I'm coming after you. Don't expect me to sit here twiddling my thumbs while you two take all the action. Pain in the ass. That's what he is. He's a pain in the ass. All right, we're going to split the squad. I'm going to send Arthur and Rook over there. I want to risk the entire party, plus they can move a little faster. But we'll leave those two here. Let them have some conversation. And I can talk to Ruka a little bit. Irvin? Why is Arthur's name Irvin? What is with that? Why did that happen? The fuck? I think it's because I moved his squad. What the fuck, man? Hold on. I gotta fix that. Changed his name to Irvin. How annoying. Is there a... How annoying. Yeah, that's frustrating. Okay, well, we're gonna have to fix that at some point, but that's fine. Hey, Hero, how bad would it be if the Southern Hybrids were expansionists and not isolationists? Not that bad, to be honest with you. They wouldn't be able to expand out very effectively. They lack the infrastructure and the ability because of how they regenerate, like what their reproductive system is, and the way that they choose to like gather biomass. It wouldn't be it doesn't support that kind of expansion. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't be that bad. I don't think they'd make it very far, to be honest with you. It wouldn't be that bad. Think about it. In order to increase their numbers, they'd have to not like. So the Western Hive has the advantage of they have to transfer. They have to transfer. What is it? Like agricultural products over to these old machines. Those are zombies. God damn, dude. There's zombies everywhere. They have to transfer agricultural products over to the Western Hive Queen for her to, eat and therefore create new hivers because of the way the regenerative process works. The Southern Hive has to bring back corpses, which isn't inherently as that bad. It's similar in terms of transportation. The downside to it is that means they have to kill people. They have to bring them back, It'd be difficult because they'd effectively, in order to maintain their expansion, in order to maintain their numbers, they'd have to become increasingly more violent, increasingly more aggressive, and they'd have to have a steady supply of people to kill. Whereas right now, they can fuel their numbers because they're in an isolated location. All bodies, both trespassers, any Southern Hivers that break free, anything like that, or anybody that gets too old, all gets fed to King. They're able to maintain their numbers that way. But in terms of expansion, it's not really beneficial anymore. It doesn't work as well as it would have under normal circumstances. They just don't have the infrastructure to do it. Imagine having to be constantly at war with your enemies. Imagine constantly having to transport their corpses all the way back to King to be crushed down into dude smoothie. Anytime a Southern Hiver breaks free, they'd have to kill him and send him back to King. King feeds him, and then a new one pops out. Yeah, I just noticed the Ervin thing, too. It happened when I switched squads. I'm going to have to fix it. It's a Sentient Sands issue. Zombies equal limitless smoothie. It's true. It's true. Do they need people or can they use animals too? Presumably they can use anything, but it's hard to say for certain. Presumably they can use anything, but it's difficult to say for certain. Gather up anything here that we can sell. Books, hinges. Up here, what are these small barrels? Yeah. Once we get back to World's End, we should be able to fix the Ervin thing. I don't know what the hell. Oh shit! What? Hell yeah! Say what? Sell these for a mint. Hell yeah, dude! I ain't complaining. Easy money. Easy money. You should try and start a cult in your city, something warlike. I don't know. I mean, maybe. I don't really know what the city's gonna be like once it's founded. I'm kind of thinking I might go for an Arthurian legend type vibe. The idea is creating a King Arthur type situation. I think that would be really cool. Why not wear them? Because we don't need them currently. What we need currently is money. And by the time we'll need them, it won't be as much of an issue. We'll need the repair kits for sure. We'll keep those. Yeah, so I'm kind of thinking I'm going to base the infrastructure kind of like off. Oh shit, son. Look at this cool ass hat. Oh my god, dude. Burns got some fucking gear, man. Based it off Arthurian legends, so like having like the 7 Knights of the Round Table, all that stuff. Like he'll have his 7 Knights, his generals, all that good stuff. So, dude, we got some fucking gear in here. Ooh boy, Burns fucking killing it, man. Burns killing it. Hell yeah, man. Going to Burns Tower was the right move. My god. Now we just gotta deal with the fucking zombies, man. Hopefully they don't notice us. Hopefully they just run right past. There's more of them over there too. Alright, so now we're gonna head back to the Flotsam Village. Reconvene with those two. We did tell Luke we'd be back by nightfall. We should be back a little sooner than that, hopefully. That ain't gonna work. We're not taking the fucking slow route, guys. We're not taking the slow route. Alrighty, so. Where's it even gonna be? So I haven't quite decided fully yet, but I'm thinking the gut. But yeah, I'm thinking once we start building our outposts and everything, it's gonna be the gut. Going to be the gut, but I think it'd be kind of poetic that you have Arthur and then you have his his Knights of the Round Table and they're defending against the zombie horde. It'd be fun. Luke being forced to wear a prosthetic limb would be so insulting to his Okran beliefs. Oh, dude, he'd lose it. He'd fucking lose it. I actually have a prosthetic mod, one singular prosthetic mod on too that adds some really cool prosthetics, or a really cool set of prosthetics that might end up getting used later. Good luck with that. Oh, I mean, setting up in the gut's not difficult. If you have a good enough squad to hold the line long enough for you to get a building up and some walls up, you'll be fine. And then the beak things will act as a natural defense against the zombies. A TV romantic twist will be Reva to romance Luke. Oh, that'd be so super funny, given that she hates men. That'd be really funny. That'd be funny. All right, and now all of you can head back up to World's End. Burn, I'm planning on making Burn a martial artist. He's gonna be the new Tin Fist probably. Either that, I don't know. Actually, maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do with him yet. I think Burn's probably gonna be one of my knights. You know, so Rook is definitely going to be one of our knights, one of our 7 major knights there. We got Burn as well, Sir Burn. Then we'll go from there, but yeah, big stuff is planned. I'm doing a Kingdom playthrough right now, but I have no idea who to make the queen. last series we let everyone vote. We let everyone vote during One Arm Toji. They voted on Seto. My vote was for Riku, but they didn't give a shit what I said. They voted for Seto, which was fair, totally fair. Ultimately, they made a decent choice, but my vote was for Riku. All right, let's find the fucking. Where is the? Oh, there's so many bars around here. They could be in any one of them. Double check. It's fine. All right, we'll sell off our crap first, and then we'll get Arthur's name fixed since that got fucked up. Sell those, sell that, sell these, keep the repair kit, sell that, sell that, sell that. We'll get rid of the tools. Reinforced saber, pole arm. Get rid of those. We don't actually need them. We'll make Burn. Have that stuff run out. And that's enough for us to buy our house and for Arthur to fix his name. We just got to find out where the plastic surgeon's at. Queen Neil. Wait a second. We went from a series where we were getting people eaten alive en masse to a new series where we're getting people eaten alive en masse. Coincidence? I think not. You figured it out. You figured it out. You figured it out. The theme for every series is getting people eaten alive en masse. It's the theme. That's the theme. That's the theme. We're looking for the plastic surgeon right now. Fix Arthur's name since that got messed up. There he is. Wrong. Arthur. Jesus Christ. Fix that. All right. What's next? Fistman Supremacy? No, next is the Hive playthrough. Doing a Hiver playthrough next. Full Hive. Doing a full Hive playthrough next. Okay, L House 2800. Excuse me. Excuse me. Ranger shop and shop. Is it just that L House? I think it's just the L House. Yeah. All right. Well, this is where we live now. Oh, it's Cockeyed that's gonna make me so fucking mad. I'm gonna have to fix that. I'm gonna have to fix that. We're gonna fix that. No, I can't fix that. Never mind. We're not gonna fix that. But we bought the house. We bought the house. Request for static map usage for the Hive playthrough. Define static map usage. Define static map usage. Hey, much appreciated for the resub. Look at you. Two whole months in a row, you absolute unit. Watch the Horde episode 1 VOD. Good stuff here. I'll have to watch the first half of episode 2 here in the following days. Thank you very much, Pete. Thank you. Much appreciated. All right, so we have a home now. Righty, we're gonna tell them. All right, this is where we are going to be living for the time being. It's remote, out of the way from the paladins, and has less zombie attacks. Plus, the tech hunters care not for our background as followers of Okran can set up and prepare here. But Dad, where's the mall? The location makes sense. I've already scouted the upper path and found a spot that could work for storage and makeshift infirmary. Should serve us better than setting up in the open. Indeed, indeed. Hey, here, there's an extraction shooter game called Forever Winter. You should check it out. Maybe you'll like it because it's really similar to Cyberpunk and Kenshi in the same time. I'll take a look at it. I'll take a look at it. All right, Luke and Morrigan head into town and get some building supplies. Ruka and Burn what should I have Ruka and Burn do? Well, I'll deal with them in a minute. Building supply is fine, but don't expect me to haul back lumber like a pack beast while you two take the scenic route. Gee, what a dick, man. What a dick. He's always such a dick. I'll hand her the bartering, Luke. Try not to start a theological debate with the shopkeeper this time. Ha 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 ha. Funny. Don't talk shit to each other. I low-key adore Sentient Sands. I've been enjoying it quite a bit myself. Mechanical shop. All right, so we're gonna head into town, grab some stuff, grab some things, some stuff. He doesn't strike me as an extraction shooter kind of guy, though he would like the setting. So I like some extraction shooters. It's hit or miss. It's hit or miss. Do business. Let's get down to business. Fun fact, I can actually just give materials straight to them as well. And we'll get some research materials as well. Good. Good. All right, so first things first, we're going to set up a tech research bench. That's what we need. We need to be researching tech for sure. Backwards. Tarkov gives me brain bleeds. Fair. Luke is one of my favorites so far. That's funny. That's funny. No, I like post-apocalyptic stuff. I'm always a fan for post-apocalyptic, but it depends how it's done. Depends how it's done. This built up. All right, so Burn's in charge of research. Rika's in charge of engineering. All right, so I'm gonna let them know what their jobs are. Ruka, you're in charge of engineering. Luke, you're on guard duty. And you're on guard duty. Morgan is on medical. And Burn on research. Let them know what their job is. What your job is. Engineering, good. I've already mapped out the foundation points. We need more iron plates before the week's end. Guard duty, fine. Just don't expect me to stand still and watch while those zombie packs wander past. I'm not a statue. Yeah. I expect very little from you, Luke. Very little. Little dick. Medical, I'll start organizing the supplies we have. Burn, if you've got any old surgical knowledge locked away in those circuits, let me know. Research A, bet. Oh my god, he said bet. Oh my god, Burn said bet. Why does that tickle me? Why does that absolutely tickle me? He goes, research, huh? Bet. I don't know why that's so funny to me, but it is. Absolutely tickles me. That's so funny. Bird is Gen Z confirmed. Gen Z Burn confirmed. I'm fucking rolling, dude. Oh my god, that's so funny. Research, eh? Bet. I'm gonna have to put it on a shirt. God damn, that's so fucking funny. That's so fucking funny, dude. Oh my god, I can't believe he just said that. My mind is boggled by that. I can't believe he just said that. That's so funny to me. God damn. God damn. All right. So first things first, we're gonna get makeshift walls up. We're gonna get that researched. Actually, we're gonna get metal fencing too. I think we're gonna run that route. Painting, smithing, core, small houses. Yep. Item storage, beer storage. Public sales. What else? Building materials. Yep. Storage boxes for ore. Yep, need those. Farming, need those. Iron plates, because we're going to need that as well. Okay, cool. All right, Burn. Hop to it, my guy. Yeah, that shit's so funny. I can't believe he just said that. I'm fucking dying, dude. I'm absolutely dying. That's so funny. Research is going to be slow rolling because, what is it? Yeah, low time. So we're going to switch this to 20 times speed. Let that run. Food, fantastic. We're going to get this place gussied up too. This will either be a hit or a miss, but what do you think of SCP? Look at it like a lobotomy corporation. If not, forget this message ever happened. Um, I mean, I mean, I've if you're talking about like SCPs, I've looked into them a bunch of times in the past. It's not like a huge thing for me, but I have looked into them a bunch in the past. So there's that. I talked with Muffin about them a lot, not a lot, but I talked to him about him. Talked about them with Muffin before in the past a few times. Jesus, I can't fucking talk tonight. Can't fucking talk tonight. Luke, you're on guard duty, so up on over here, my dude. All right, that's what you do. He is our guard. That's what he does. Okay, so we're prepping. They are going to be coming in. There's already zombies out here fighting still, and I feel like they're getting faster. The more runners come up here, like, yeah, Jesus Christ, yeah, there's still so many of them fighting up here. The one upside is that if the town starts to fall, hopefully we can use the chaos to loot some ancient science books and stuff. And increase our research and hold the line long enough, but that's neither here nor there. All right, get the research moving. Ruka and Arthur are going to go out and help fight off some of these zombies. Are there more of them? God damn, dude, they made it far. Yeah, they made it far this time. Making it real far. Up here, too, thankfully, there's a ranger shop, so we can start training ranged units. All right. Ruka, we need to help defend the gate. Let's move before the city guards get overwhelmed. On my way, Arthur. These rusted boards won't hold forever. Time to remind the dead why they should stay down. Indeed. Get out there and show these corpses what for it mean. What for it mean? Gawanasai, Mr. Byrne. Get out here and continue our training. Take down these damn zombies. Gonna get you a better katana at some point, but we'll need money for that. People either like or hate SCP, or hate can never be too safe. But Lobotomy Corporation is a facility management game for anyone looking for that niche. Good to know. Good to know. Did not know that, but good to know. Unfamiliar with the title. Unfamiliar. Unfamiliar with the title. I do wish that some of these guys spawned with some equipment that actually sold for something, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. We're off. We're out here. We're fighting off the undead. What are you gonna do? You know? What are you gonna do? Arthur's building up them skills. Building up them skills. Here, I just wanted you to know that you're my favorite streamer. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You know, something I noticed the other day that really, like, took me by surprise. So I frequently pop into other Kenshi streamers' streams, right? I pop in, I say hi, give some advice, share their streams. Like, I want to help the community. I want, you know, the community to continue to grow. I like seeing other Kenshi creators get their comeuppance and get their, you know, their go-tos and their exposure and all that stuff. So that's something I try to do. And something I noticed, though, that really doesn't help is a lot of, not just Kenshi streamers, but like small streamers. Some of them have been doing it for, you know, a good amount of time, some for not that long at all, which, you know, I guess you can forgive it a bit more for those that are newer, but they don't interact with the audience like almost at all. They just play the game. They'll sit there, they have the camera on, and they're just sitting there just... All right. Move up here. And go ahead and do this. Okay. Like, it's crazy. How do you not interact with people? Why are you streaming? Why are you streaming if you're not going to interact, man? Just play the game solo, man. Are you, like, how? That's not going to help you. That's not going to help you at all. You got to interact, man. You got to interact. You got to talk with people. Narrate everything that you do. If you move left, be like, all right, I'm moving left. Headed to left. All right, Arthur's fucking killing it now. He's coming up here. Fucking see what Riku's doing. Right, just narrate everything that you do. You got to talk. If you're going to stream, you got to fucking talk. It drives me up the wall. I can't stand that. You're the only streamer that doesn't feel fake. You know, well, I appreciate that. I try not to be. I mean, this is... What you guys see on stream is how I act when I'm not on stream. Like, I'm not... I don't feel like I'm not going to put on a character. Maybe I tone down my aggression a little. I can be a little bit, you know, a little bit more assertive, a little bit more aggressive sometimes. But, like, by and large, like, this is just how I act. Like, you know, I don't... I'm not going to tone it down for stream. Because the thing is, like, it's a bitch to maintain that, right? Like, I've seen too many YouTubers develop, like a personality online, right? Develop, like an identity for themselves online. And they can't maintain that. They can't maintain it because it's not who they are. It's not who they actually are, right? Like, it's a fake, watered down, like, idealized version of themselves. It's who they think that people want them to be. And the problem is that you can't maintain that, right? I'm gonna be exactly who the hell I am, right? That's just me. It's easier to maintain that, right? It's easier to maintain that. I don't have to worry about people being like, oh, I didn't know that Hero was this. I don't know. I didn't know that he acted this way. No, this is who I am. This is who I am. Not artificial. It's not fucking, you know, a persona created for views. This is just who I am. When I rage out, I rage. That's me actually raging. When I'm not raging and I'm, you know, telling jokes, that's me trying to be funny. You know, like, it is what it is. I don't know. I think there's too much artificialness in some people's personas in terms of streaming and stuff. And then again, there's the ones that just don't fucking talk, which drives me up the wall. I don't like, what are you even doing? Why even bother? Why even bother? Not to be a dick, but, like, why even bother? Why bother? They're just sitting there playing the game. Why bother? Just play the game offline. You'll get the same experience. And it's, you know, I mean, I don't know. It's just wild to me. It's wild to me. I just absolutely told Hobbs to fuck off. Now I can't recruit him. Oh, no! Agnew talks more than bro. Yeah. Shit's crazy, man. Shit's crazy. I'll never understand it. Shame that some of those streamers who don't interact with their audience get more viewers than some who do. Yeah, I mean, it's always a shame. Although in my experience, like, more often than not, they're sitting at like one or two people, you know. Like, there was a guy, I hopped into a guy's stream earlier. I'm not going to say his name. Not really for it because, you know, I don't want to give everyone bad press. Like, that's never my goal. Bad press is never my goal. Not unless they really fucking deserve it, but even then, I'll usually keep my mouth out of it because there's no, it's not my business. They'll get their own. I was in a guy's stream earlier, and I was trying to talk with him. He was talking to him about Kenshi. I was trying to interact with him, trying to talk to him, trying to see what the run was about, trying to, just not even like I'm not even trying to advertise myself or like anything like that. I just want to talk with him, right? How are you doing, my guy? And I could not get a response out of this guy. I could not get a response out of him. I was like, hey, how you doing? He goes, hey, heroin, which, by the way, so clever. My God. What's going on? And I was like, what's the goal of the run? And he goes, I'm fighting the Holy Nation. And he just goes right back to it. I was like, okay. What are you doing? He goes, like, are you allied with anybody? And he goes, United Cities. And then just keeps going back to playing. No discussion, no nothing. Nothing. I was like, are you, like, I was like, okay, so you're allied with the UC, you're going against the Holy Nation. I was like, are you allying with the Shek, or are you going to take them too? And he goes, nah, the Shek confused me. And just goes right back to playing. What are you doing? Who wants to engage with that? Come on, put some effort in, man. Put some effort in. I want you to be successful, but you gotta want you to be successful. I have no fucking idea. I have no idea. I didn't stick around long enough to ask the follow-up questions. But like, I don't know. It's just crazy because it's like I want you to be successful, right? I want everybody that I talk to be successful. All my content creator friends, I want them to all be successful. If I hop into your stream and I'm chatting with you, it's because I want you to take off. I want you to be successful. I share your stream. I sent it to my buddies. I had Frankie raid some dude the other night. It was awesome. Guy's brand new streamer. He's streaming to Kenshi. Just got out of the military. He's working through some stuff, and he was down on his luck. I went to Frankie and I was like, dude, you got a raid coming up? Let's raid him. We got like 40, 50 people in there, and it was awesome to see him light up. And he started interacting more. And he started talking with people more, and it was great. That's what I want to do. I want to help people. But if I pop into your stream and you're just like not interacting at all, and you don't want to talk with people, and like you're just sitting there playing the game and being a bum, and it's low energy, I'm not gonna help. You're not helping you. Help me help you. It's crazy. Might as well just upload it with no commentary playthrough at that point. That's exactly my point. You might as well just upload it as a no commentary playthrough. Like, why even bother? Why even bother? And that's not me trying to like shit on other streamers. I just like it bothers me when people don't put effort into something that they supposedly do. Right? Like, if you're doing it as a gag, like if you want to be a streamer as a gag, if this means nothing to you, you're just doing it for shits and giggles, that's fine. That's fine. But the people that are like, yeah, man, I really want to take streaming seriously. I want to take off. And then they don't interact, or they're mean with their audience, or they don't try. Like, this is what you do? This is what you want to do with your, like, this is how you want to be known? It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. Even when only excuse to not interact is if you're absolutely locked in. Yeah, and I think it depends on the game. Like, there's some games where, like, interacting is harder than others, but, like, I know for me, when things are the most intense are when I specifically like to interact the most, because like that's when like the heart's pumping, I'm fucking going, I want to narrate what I'm doing, talk to you guys about what I'm doing. I want you guys to feel. I want you to feel the intensity of the situation. I want you to feel as aggressive and intense and as invested as I do. All right, we need money. We need more money. How's Burn doing with research? Doing public sales up here. Kenshi getting here to someone's thought process is fun as fuck. That's what I'm saying. Like it's just, I don't know. It bothers me when I pop into anybody's stream and they just don't interact. Why are you even streaming if you're not going to interact? That's the whole point, right? Like, you can either upload a long form video and get comments and stuff like that, and then you can talk that way. But if you're going to stream, like, the point of streaming is to, in my opinion anyway, is to engage with people. It's to put on a show. Exactly. It's not just playing the game. It's to engage, interact, and put on a show. Right? I play Kenshi not a completely different way, but a different way on stream than I do you know, like by myself in my solo playthroughs, because I'm putting on a show. Right? And granted, like, there's, you know, it's random and like also, but like I set certain expectations and rules. I save scum in real life in my normal playthroughs. I don't do that in these. You know, I don't yell at my fucking computer screen and get all fucking, you know, excited and jumped up or sad. I don't yell when bad things happen. I'm just like, ah, shit. Right? But when I'm streaming, I do all those things. If I'm upset, I vocalize it. If I'm happy, I vocalize it. If I think something's awesome, I vocalize it, right? Because I have an audience. There are people that are here watching you. They want to feel included. How are you supposed to build your channel if the people don't feel included? This is not just my story. It's all of your story. You guys are here making the story with me. You guys are helping me make decisions. You guys are watching and seeing the world evolve and adapt and the playthrough continue. Like, this is just as much your story as mine. And as the person hosting it, it's my job to facilitate a good experience. It's like being a dungeon master in D&D. My job is to facilitate the story for you guys. That is my responsibility as the one playing the game, you know. And I just wish that was under, you know, more universally thought, I guess. I just noticed that the other day, and then this morning, like I said, when I was on that one guy's stream, I was just like, wow, that's. I was just baffled. I was truly appalled. I was blown away by it. Blown away. Absolutely blown away. Jesus. Who's down here fighting? Is it tech hunters? Oh man, they're way down here fighting, and I feel like they're. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. A lot of zombies down here. A lot of zombies down here. Oof. Oof, big oof, big oof. Oh, man. This is the positive. Quick, someone call him a Holy Nation simp and call him a cannibal and mention the cannibals being the KKK. Yeah, everybody, somebody trigger me. Somebody trigger me now. Things are getting too positive. Somebody trigger me. Speaking of DMing, I just got Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus recently. Know anything about it? Descent into Avernus? Not really. I played Baldur's Gate 3. I played a little bit of BG2 long time ago, but not per se, no. Oh, are you talking about the module? I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. Fucking ignore me. I'm fucking off my rocker right now. Yes, I know about Descent of Avernus. Jesus Christ. I'm in gaming mode right now. Not I'm in PC mode, not fucking D&D mode. Jesus Christ. Ignore me. Yes, I know a bit about Descent to Avernus. Yes. Holy shit. He's talking about the module, not the fucking game, guys. He's talking about the module. The module. I'm fucking okay. Yeah. You guys can tell that it's my Monday. As soon as I started talking, I was like, what are you, you're brainlet. What are you talking about, man? Baldur's Gate exists as a fucking... yeah, okay. He's talking about the module. Yeah, I know a bit about it. Not a lot. It's not one that I've played extensively, but I know a bit about it. I know a little bit about it. Did I hear that Warhorse is making a Lord of the Rings game? I have heard that. I have, and I'm stoked. Somebody brought it up the other day. I don't know if it was on stream or if it was on the podcast. It may have been both. It may have been both. I don't know. Somebody brought it up either on the podcast or on stream. And it was cool. I was stoked. Much hype. Maximum overhype. Burns got to build that martial arts. My guy's got to be absolutely just kicking the shit out of zombies. We're building Tin Fist 2.0 for now. Although I probably will end up giving him a weapon later on, but not sure what. Oh, dude, we need a good Star Wars game, something fierce. We haven't had a good Star Wars game in so long. Other, like, I like the Jedi games. I like the Jedi games, but they are not. They're not quite what I'm looking for. They're close, but they're not quite what I'm looking for. I was admittedly, in full transparency, a little bummed when they announced Total Warhammer 40K instead of Total Warhammer Star Wars, because that would have been pretty tight. I want a proper Star Wars RPG again, like KOTOR. I have higher hopes than usual for KOTOR, but not by much, because even though it's got, what's his name, Casey. It's got Casey's. One of the guys, the creative directors who worked on the original Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, and it's got a few of the old team back, which does make me feel good. It's still, I don't know. I don't have super high hopes for it. My hope is that the KOTOR remake goes better. My hope is that the KOTOR remake goes good. It will get done eventually. It will get done eventually. Star Wars: The Old Republic has some of my favorite Star Wars stories in it, dude. I wholeheartedly wish I would be all for it. I would pimp the shit out of this game. I've put a lot of hours into Star Wars: The Old Republic, the MMO, and I would get back into it and put even more hours in if they revamped the combat system. If it was real-time combat instead of point click, like it's antiquated, right? The current combat system is very antiquated. If they did real-time combat instead of point and click combat, oh my fucking god. I would literally shit. I would literally shit. You wouldn't be able to stop me. It'd be bananas. Absolutely bananas. I would get back into it in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. These cannibals fighting zombies. It is. And it looks like the cannibals might be losing. Oh no, they're winning. They're winning. The cannibals are actually going to be a pretty decent source of weaponry for us, because their weapons do increase damage against humans, right? Like their flesh saws and shit like that. And the zombies count as humans, so actually the cannibals have a pretty good, chance against them. Here for now. What are all the types of zombies? Oh, there's like 10 or 15 different types of zombies. And once you get to stage 2, they start looking like super mutants, right? Like right now they look like humanoids. But when you get to like Epsilon, which I think is either stage 2 or 3, they start looking like super mutants, and that's not an exaggeration. They're massive super mutants. Knights of the Fallen Empire and Knights of the Eternal Throne were worth suffering through the antiquated gameplay. I agree. They were really good. They were really good. Yeah, if they updated the gameplay, like the gameplay loop to be better, oh my god, I'd be all for it, because I love it. I love the crossover of Star Wars and Kenshi nerds. I'd like to think that there's like a science behind that, like it can be studied. We're fighting cannibals. Taking a bit of damage, but that's okay. That's all right. We can go rest up back at the lots of ninjas little hideout there if we need to. Nice. Yeah, this is devastating. Look at this fucking thing. Oh my god. I feel like the Cannibal Plains are probably an absolute war zone all the time. Probably an absolute war zone all the time. Luke, pick her up. Alright, let's head back. Cannibals? Yeah, more cannibals. All right, we can continue, though. Flotsam Ninjas will intervene, hopefully. Yeah, even if the Jedi gameplay wasn't, I wish that they would overhaul the Trooper gameplay. Like, I wish the Trooper gameplay was a little bit more crisp in Star Wars: The Old Republic. Yeah, Ruka, come fight with Arthur. We got cannibals and zombies. They're arguably just as bad. Are the zombies a capture faction? No, they are not. They are a sit down and eat your fucking body on the ground faction. They're like animals. They're like literal animals. You rest it up. I don't know how long this outpost is gonna last. Between the cannibals and the zombies, I don't know how long it's gonna last. I feel like the numbers here keep getting lower and lower. Burn, go shut that door. Yeah, shut the door. Do they have a skeleton repair bed at World's End? Yeah, they do. They do, in fact. They do, in fact. Keep that fucking door shut. Yeah, between the zombies and the cannibals, I feel this outpost is not going to be around very long. Imagine a Southern Hiver got infected. I dread the idea. Imagine Igor got infected. Luke, you lay down. Heal up. Nice. Nice. What's with the gorilla with 3,000 HP in the south? He rocked my shit. Which one? The king gorilla or the great white gorilla? Or are you talking about the Southern Hive? Southern Hive King? Do cities depopulate if they're not loaded in via world state, or is it just an assault on what's loaded? They don't. So what they do is there's numbers running in the background. So they don't actually. It's not like they're like rendering or anything, but the data runs in the background. Contrary to what some people believe, Kenshi's consistently running all data for the world in the background. That's part of the reason it's so janky, right? That's part of the reason that it has so much performance issue in certain spots, because it's constantly running the data for all of the areas in the background and all of the squads and everything that you have that are running around. And that's why you can go to Mongrel and Beep will be gone before you even get there, because he can actually die. The Fogman can come kidnap him and take him away before you even ever get there, so... There's a black one and a white one? Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's a white one that's locked up in Morn called the Great White Gorilla, and there's a black one that's in Stove's Gamble, I believe, in one of the ruins. But the Great White Gorilla is locked up in Morn. All right. Greetings. Yeah, I think it's a little too formal given the circumstances. Should clear out of this outpost. Between the dead and the cannibals, it won't last much longer. You and the others here are welcome to join us. Try to get them to join us. That ex-paladin got his people digging in like they own the place. Maul wouldn't stand for it if she saw. God damn, dude. Maul's got bigger worries than some washed-up holy warrior playing house. Besides, those drifters kill zombie better than town guards. I'll take that kind of a nuisance. The dead are crawling over each other out there. The blood reavers are just as bad. I'll take my chances with the flotsam. But I won't stop you from dragging your crew out of this meat grinder. Yeah, Arthur's got a bit of a reputation. He is a former paladin. Look at him. He's outfitted like one. You know, they know who he is. They know what he is. They know what he's about. This place isn't gonna stand against the Horde. Your numbers are low as it is. I just watched 4 more of your people get eaten or carried off. Staying is a fool's errand. And survive this and rebuild something better. Don't die for nothing. That's what the Phoenix would do. Maybe, but the old skeleton's with him. He's got more cycles under his... Oh, yeah, he's talking about something else. The Phoenix would have burned me at the stake, not offered a hand out of hell. I'll stay with the flotsam until the last sister falls, but I won't pretend you're wrong about this outpost odds. Give it time. That ex-paladin's boy keeps staring at my sword like he's measuring where to swing. Luke, goddammit! Stop starting fights with people! Hey, thank you for the gifties. My God, 10 gifted memberships, you absolute fucking unit. Absolute unit. My dude is a beast. My dude is an absolute beast. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Sincerely, sincerely. Yeah, I don't think they're going to see reason. Please, I urge you to see reason. The Phoenix believe the Horde is a threat, but you and the ninja know better. Others know better. Us and survive. Don't throw your life away. Your lives away. I hear your words, Arthur. I know you speak true, but my fight is with the Holy Nation, not the dead. The Flotsam is my family now. If the Horde takes this post, I'll make sure it costs them every step. Fools. Fools. Absolute fools. Luke, your eyes to yourself. I overheard some of the locals claiming you were sizing up the ninja. You don't need a fight with them. I know your thoughts, but they aren't our enemy, boy. Child needs to control himself. I wasn't sizing her up. I was watching her move. There's a difference. She's got a blade on her hip, and she flinches in shadows. If she's flotsam, she's got a reason to hate everyone who ever wore the paladin armor. Luke, he's right. The last thing we need is you starting something because a ninja looked at you wrong. Keep your eyes on the dead, not the living. Hell yeah. I like that Morrigan is the voice of reason. The girl's right. I've seen wars start over a glare in these wastes. Best to let it sleep. Try using a character that's using a saber swords. Indeed. Indeed. Oh, man. Indeed. So what's the lore with the huge gorilla? So the black gorilla I don't have much for. Like the king gorilla, I don't have much for him. For the great white gorilla, there's a couple lines of dialogue that I find really interesting, and this is purely speculative. The area, the town of Morn used to be a United States town that was basically experienced a slave uprising. And it's believed that Tin Fist may have been a part of it, right? And I don't remember the dialogue exactly, like word for word, so bear with me on this. But there's dialogue from one of the barkeepers in Morn that suggests that Tin Fist was in the area. The reason why, oh, you know what it is? I remember what it was. Somebody asked about the gorilla up in the, you can ask him about the gorilla up in the ancient citadel locked up there. And he makes a comment that, like, if you want to go up there and try and fight it, you're a fool. They almost didn't, like, they lost, like, a bunch of people getting it wrangled the first time. And we're no, you know, we don't stand a chance. We're no Tin Fist, which kind of suggests that the slave uprising happened. Tin Fist and the anti-slavers were there. The Great White Gorilla attacked, and Tin Fist managed to fight it off and actually, like, basically Tin Fist is the one that locked it up in the Great Citadel. Tin Fist and his men are the ones that fought it and locked it up in the Great Citadel, like in the ancient Citadel, where it is now. So the Great White Gorilla very likely fought Tin Fist to a draw, and was locked up in the Great White Citadel by Tin Fist or by his followers. Yeah, I don't care if you think you're the next Tin Fist, no one can fight him. So, yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, something along those lines that kind of gives the implication that maybe Tin Fist was there. I've always personally liked the idea, and again, this is purely headcanon, purely speculative. I've always liked the idea that Tin Fist was, thank you, by the way, Sean, for the member. You absolute unit. Absolute unit. Much appreciated. I've always liked the idea that Tin Fist was the one that fought the Great White Gorilla and locked it up there in the first place. I've always thought that was a cool idea. Very cool idea. Even more dude, my guy, he's just over here throwing members out left and right. Goated. Go to behavior. Go to behavior. They call this man the Goat Man. Thought the stream was canceled? No, it's Sunday. I don't cancel streams on Sunday. What do you think this is? I do sometimes, but not today. Not today. Nah, Sunday through Thursday, unless something comes up. Although, fun fact about canceling streams. This Thursday, I will not be streaming. I'm letting everyone know it is my wife's birthday. I will not be streaming. I will be spending the evening with my wife. We have plans. So this Thursday, I will not be streaming. In honor of you hearing that you went full-time. Oh, thank you. Much appreciated. Yeah, we went full-time. It's true. I officially announced it like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Big stuff, big stuff. That, or maybe Tin Fist is used as a representation of absolute physical fight prowess. I also remember the barkeep saying we lost 2 of our guys trying to lock that thing up. Yeah, well, I don't think he fought it like solo, per se. I think that Tin Fist may have been involved in it, though, because, like, realistically speaking, no one there is going to be capable of taking that thing down. He hits like a fucking truck. He's got enough. 2 guys? Only 2? No. I find it more likely that Tin Fist was involved in the wrangling, but it wasn't just Tin Fist. It was some of them too. I think that's a cool idea, is the idea that, like, Tin Fist was there. That's why he brings it up. Like, you're not the next Tin Fist. Do you think you're the next Tin Fist? No one can fight it, right? I like the idea that it's because Tin Fist helped him the first time he was involved. But again, that's purely speculative. That's just my headcanon. Just my headcanon. Happy birthday to my wife. It's true. My wife. She's growing. She's getting older, man. She's getting just like me. The joke. She's actually she's turning the same age as me. I'm 9 months older than my wife. I'll never go full time. Jail forever. It's true. It's true. Jail forever. Nah, you'll get there, man. It takes time. These things take time. It took me 5 years, 5.5 years before I went full time. Don't you? You'd be surprised. 5.5 years of making content before I was able to go full time. It was so these things happen progressively, right? They happen exponentially. So it took me 2 years to hit 1,000 subs. It took me the first 2 years, I hit 1,000 subs. By the end of year 3, I hit 2,000 subs. By the end of year 4, I hit 6,000 subs. By the end of year 5, I hit 10,000 subs. And then in the last 5 months, I've gone from 10,000 to 18,000 subs. It happens exponentially, right? So what took me 2 years then took me 1, and then I doubled it. And you know that I doubled that in half the time, and then I doubled that in half the time, and then I doubled that in half the time. It goes up exponentially. So just you gotta stay at it, my buddy. You got good content. I've seen your stuff. You can do this. I believe in you. I believe in you, Pork. I do. Everybody go give Pork a sub. Everybody do it. Go give Pork a sub. He makes Kenshi content. Go give him a sub. Go hang out with our boy. Between Twitch and YouTube, we've got almost 50 people in here right now. Everybody go sub to Pork. Also, your product improve. That too. That's true. The longer you do it, the more the more sophisticated you get better at editing, get faster at editing, you get to learn new techniques, your audio gets better, everything improves. It just takes time. It's all a numbers game. It's all an improvement game. Things continue to get better and better and better. Just gotta stick at it. That's all. Just gotta stick with it. That's all. Damage against you. Yeah, we got to get some of the high, like the really good cannibal. Whereas the Mato Flesh Saw would be really good, but that's gonna be difficult because we'll have to take on the Cannibal Grand Wizard, and we don't have the numbers for that. Though, to be honest, the Cannibal Grand Wizard will probably end up getting wiped out by the zombies before we even get a chance to get over there. To be fair, I don't know how you see your content, but even your earlier videos were super good quality when it comes to the lore stuff. I am super cringed out by my earlier content. There's a lot of things I would have done differently. A lot of things I wouldn't have done differently. You know, it's there. The other thing too is over the years, granted none of these channels exist anymore. It's not like this is my first time doing video editing. It's not like this is my first time doing anything like this. Even then, I had done video editing. Even then, I had done audio work. Like, for a while, I freelanced, aside from, like, my actual job at the time. But, like, on the side, I had a side gig doing, like, audiobooks. And I do narrations for people. And I all that stuff. I used to do audio work. I did voiceovers and character work and all that stuff. So I used to do a lot of that stuff on the side as well. It's just a point of, a different starting point. That's all. But like that's all it is. It's just a starting point. It doesn't dictate where your finish line is or how you can continue to improve. Just the starting point. That's all. You got this, my guy. I frequently watch your Second Empire video. Yep, that's one of the ones that cringes me out these days. Once Kenshi 2 comes out, I plan on redoing a couple of my old videos. Once Kenshi 2 drops, I plan on updating a few of them. You're your worst critic, and it feels your attention to detail. That's the point. Like that's the thing. Like you should always be looking at critiquing your own work and finding ways to improve it. Take criticism seriously. Learn to spot the difference between, people just being an ass and like actual advice, right? Very important. Some people just want to hate you, just want to see the world burn. They just hate you because for whatever reason. But like you could find the people that actually have your best interest at heart, the people that want you to succeed. And you can take their advice because that's your target audience. That's your demographic. Don't try to win over people that are dickheads right from the beginning. Don't bother with that. Sometimes I forget how niche Hero is because its quality is very much better than it should be, all things considered. I appreciate it. It helps that I kind of, like my content in particular, I identified a gap in the market, right? And I've talked about this on a few other streams as well. I've talked about this before. Identifying a gap in the market is super important, right? And with Kenshi, when I first started making Kenshi lore videos, I noticed that there was not really much lore content on Kenshi, and the content that did exist was largely, this is going to sound super mean, I say this every time, I don't want to shit on anybody else's content, that's not what I mean, but a lot of the content that existed was largely gameplay footage, poorly recorded gameplay footage, audio on some like on like a laptop microphone or a webcam mic, no visuals, no storytelling, and it was speculative. There wasn't even a script really involved. Like there wasn't like high quality, like there's no production value in the market. You know, there was no production value for Kenshi lore content, and so that's what I set out to make, and it took off almost immediately. My first and second Empire videos that I did popped off almost immediately. I think I posted the first Empire video and I got like 15,000 views on a channel that had like 100 subs in, or like 100 or 200 subs in like no time. In like no time. And that was crazy. And then the second Empire did just as well. And it kind of just set up and established like what my channel's niche was. And I did the same thing with the Kenshi Coliseum videos. I did the same thing with, although those are still getting off the ground, admittedly. I did the same thing with the build content, though. As far as I know, I'm still the only one that makes build content, and that's crazy. Like, I've seen people do base showcases, but as far as I know, I'm still the only one that like does Shift F12 base building videos. That's insane. I've been trying to get other people to do it for years, but like I saw a gap in the market. They didn't exist, so I made it. You know, people were afraid to use the Shift F12. This isn't me like tooting my own horn about the Shift F12 thing, but like people were afraid to use it. If you went on Reddit or went online and into forums or anything like that, and you asked people about using the Shift F12 to build bases, everybody would go off on you and tell you that you're gonna brick your game, that it doesn't work, that you're cheating, you're gonna brick your game, that you're gonna destroy your save or something like that. None of that stuff is true. If you do it right, you don't know, like you don't have an issue, right? You can do it without bricking your game. It's not hard to do, but everybody was so afraid. There was such like this fear mongering about it, and so I said, "Fuck it," I did it anyway, and I got a lot of pushback for it. The first couple build videos I put out, I had a lot of people that were really excited, and I had just as many people that would comment on it and be like, "Dude, you're gonna brick people's games. You're being a piece of shit. Like you're encouraging people to cheat," which, by the way, stupid thing to say. You're encouraging people to cheat in a single player game. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. It's a single player game. They can play how they want. If they want to cheat, they can cheat. I don't give a fuck. Who cares? Why do you care? Why care? Who cares? Who cares? Anyway. But like it's all about identifying the gaps in the market. That's all it is, man. All it is. Identify the gaps. Identify the gaps. So either that or stereotypical 100-day tour solo challenges. Yeah, the thing is like, even now, I think there is a influx of a very specific type of content on Kenshi, which I like. I like it, but it's repetitive. I get really bothered by the sheer amount of, I did a tour solo run. I took the weakest character in Kenshi, Beep, and made him into etc. or destroying, the Holy Nation. Those are the three types of content that pretty much exist. It's tour solo run, Beep from weakest to strongest, I destroyed the Holy Nation. Those are the three. That's it, man. I feel like that's like 90% of the fucking content. And it kills me because there's so much more opportunity. There's so much more opportunity. And you only got so many people that are actively going out and doing like doing other things, I'd say some challenger YouTube. Yeah, I mean, there's other ones. Like Frankie's got great fucking run ideas. Pato, great fucking run ideas. Cheating. Nobody has more than 100 hours in Kenshi, hasn't created a super powerful John Kenshi character before. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And thank you for the $5. Thank you for the $5. That's what I'm saying. Now, I don't know. I feel like there's just such a gap. There's such a gap. Everyone's chasing the clout that came with Ambiguous Amphibian. Everyone's chasing the same type of like it's all that, and that's the thing. That's what it is, right? It's mimicry, and I'm fine with mimicry, right? Like it's fine. It's okay to mimic. It's okay to borrow ideas from other content creators and stuff. But they're just mimicking. They're just mimicking content that's already been successful. And the problem is it still works, right? Like I have no doubt that if I put together a Let's Play series, like a long form Let's Play series about making Beep from weakest to strongest, destroying the Holy Nation, or doing a tour solo run, it'd pop right off. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to do something different, something unique, something new. Which, by the way, I'm about to hit another genre. I've got a new thing coming out really, really soon. Very excited. I'm going to be doing the Science of Kenshi videos, where I'm going to be talking about some of the science behind Kenshi, like why Vayne is red, why the gut and the cannibal plains are blue. Talking about some of the environmental factors of Kenshi, the science behind it, all of that good stuff. So I'm going to be putting out some videos called the Science of Kenshi. The first one is going to be why is Vayne red, or like the science of Vayne. So I'm going to be talking a bit about that stuff. But yeah, I just wish there was more variety, I guess, is my point, my main point here. But we want to see Pete kill the Holy Nation. He did. He did it on Toji. He did it. He did it. My problem with the Tor solo runs is that they start out difficult, but they are not inherently difficult. They're not difficult because here's what happens. It starts out hard. You have a torso. You're caterpilling your way like a little chicken nugget through the desert. And then the first thing that you do is steal from corpses, steal from prisoners, get enough money, get some legs, get some arms. Bam, you're playing Kenshi now. You're not even doing a Tor solo run. You're just playing a game of Kenshi now. Right? Like the first thing that they do is get limbs. And then it's just a normal fucking game of Kenshi. So like, what was the point? It was difficult for like an episode or two. And then it's just a normal Let's Play. With the pretense that they used to have no limbs. Right? That's why when I did One Arm Toji, I refused to give him a new arm. I refused to give him a left arm because I didn't want to just do a normal run. He was restricted. He was restricted. And that restriction stayed. You know, it was an actual challenge. It changed the way the run was. It gave depth to the character. What do I use to record? I use NVIDIA. I'll give one thing to a Tor solo playthrough. I wouldn't be able to record that much footage of nothing but crawling happening. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. Like, the first intro to the Tor solo runs are always boring as shit, too. Because you're just inchworming across the desert. And so, like, you end up cutting out the, a 45 minutes of you headed to the nearest town ends up getting cut down to, like, a minute and a half. Because no one's going to want to watch it. No one's going to want to watch that. 40 minutes of you just inchworming? Come on. It's just, I don't know. It's not, I feel like people do it because the idea of, like, oh, I'm going to do a Kenshi playthrough with no limbs. It's super difficult. It's a challenge run. It's super fun. Yeah, it's challenging for the first couple fucking minutes. And then what? And then what? Like it doesn't stay challenging for long, guys. We're gonna head to Mongrel. We're gonna head to Mongrel. I want to go up there. I think we can earn some money in Mongrel, right? Like the whole thing here is we need to earn money. Have you watched Mad Max? Someone can do a Master Blader Tor solo run where you don't get limbs, but the character can always carry you around. That'd be funny. All right, so we're gonna head to Mongrel, and we're gonna get some money there. I have the Fog Hunt mod on, so we should be able to get some cats by removing the heads of Fogmen. This is basically a parasite run. Depending on how you define parasite. Oh, man, you nailed something there. Every single one of those challenges either requires or goes into a murder hoboing. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Every creator does the impossible credit challenge, ends up murdering half the maps. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I don't know. I find a lot of the runs are repetitive and they lack, not that they lack originality, but like, they kind of lack originality. They lack originality and they lack real depth, right? Like, they're all the same. They're all the same. You forgot the 100 days tag in the thumbnail? Yeah. Yeah, there's that too. There's that too. I don't know. I think that a lot of people really sleep on the cinematic potential of Kenshi too, like from a filmmaking perspective too. Like that's one of the reasons I've been doing the Kenshi Coliseum, aside from the fact that again, I didn't really see much content like that occurring, especially not episodically. Like I put one out every week. Um, is that it's giving me an opportunity to really deeply refine my camera work and define my action shots in particular, right? Because I'm working on my Kenshi anthology series, and I want to have really good, crisp action shots. I want to have good dynamic camera movement and all that stuff. And this is giving me the opportunity to really hone that, really figure that out, even more than I already had before, right? And I think that people like kind of sleep on Kenshi's cinematic potential. I've seen some full like movies and stuff, but even then, I feel like there's so much cinematic potential for like machinima and in-game content that is kind of slept on. And I'm excited to dive more into it as I continue with my anthology series and all that stuff. I'm excited to see how it moves forward, but like I feel like that's a really slept on aspect of the game. There's so much cinematic potential here, and it's funny because like um I work on perfecting it quite a bit. Um, I work on the cinematic aspect of my content quite a bit, and it's one of the things that Lo-Fi really has like told me that they enjoy work like about working with me, is that I can make the game look as they put it. This is their words, not mine. I want to clarify this too. This is their words, not mine. Um, oh yeah, this is the Fog HQ. Eesh, this is where Ghost died. This is their words. Uh, like when I sent them my first batch of recordings for the first episode of How to Kenshi that's posted on their on the Lo-Fi channel. Um, they're like, we're continuously blown away by your ability to make the game look this good. And that's such a fucking compliment coming from Lo-Fi. Like because mind you, when I do recordings for Lo-Fi, it's purely vanilla. Like I don't have like visual mods or anything like that, you know. But like stuff like that, it's just something that I really take a lot of pride in is the visual fidelity of my game, and even more than that, the visual fidelity of like Kenji as a whole. Like the game looks so fucking good. It's such a pretty game, and the cinematic potential, especially since Free Cam came out. Oh my god, guys, is there? It's so there. I once watched a girl playing Kenshi really hardcore mode with cinematics, like a 1 hour episode, but she didn't skip anything. Really slow and entertaining storytelling, but she never did anymore. Hell yeah, dude. That sounds badass. Gold Rush? What's Gold Rush? Am I missing something? Um, Zombies versus Fogmen. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's happening. Zombies versus Fogmen are in fact a thing. Can confirm now. Can confirm they are a thing. The hell out of here. We gotta move. Hey, thanks for the $5. Could you spread a religion in game with sentient sands? Absolutely you can. Absolutely you can. Sorry I missed you the first time. I apologize. Yes, you can. I have done a playthrough where like in private where I was like testing sentient sands. You can. You can, in fact. You can cause schisms inside factions as a result of it, too. Man. Forehead. Yeah, you can cause full schisms inside factions, too. Fast we moving. It's not very fast at all, I'm sure. Yeah, 18 miles an hour. Most Fogmen will outrun us. What are some niche base spots? I think the Fog Islands is pretty niche. A lot of people say to base there, but I think it's pretty niche, to be honest. Right here is where we did Karak Vashu. Really underrated base spots. Really niche, really unique ones. Ugh. Excuse me. I'm always a fan of basing the Cannibal Plains. Love that. Love basing the Cannibal Plains. You want a real niche base spot? Don't. What's the performance hit with Sentient? Oh, gut. By the way, yeah. Always good in the gut. What's the performance hit for Sentient Sands? I don't see one at all. I don't see any performance hit. It's operating on an outside client. It's an injector. It doesn't. I haven't seen a performance hit at all. Haven't seen a performance hit at all. What can you farm in the gut? It's green, so you can farm like wheat straw, cotton, green fruit, all of that stuff, and then obviously you can mine iron and stuff there like crazy too. We need you to do a tutorial video for Sentience. Yeah, I have to do it. It's been on my list. I've got a lot of things on my list right now. It's on my list. I promise. It's on there. We're working on it. Ooh, 3 times speed. Go. Oh yeah, and beak things. You can farm beak things there too. Can't forget about the beak things. I almost did, but you can't. Can't forget about the beakers. I tried Stobe. It's amazing, but too much lag. Define. What do you mean you tried Stobe? Whatever do you mean? I tried giving a character a backstory that he's a high-ranking samurai in the UC. When I tried to order other samurai around, he asked for my papers. If they ask for your papers, all you do is you go up to him and you say, hands official documents of authority. And then you just, like, hand it to him. You have to emote it a little bit. Sometimes you gotta emote it. Sometimes you gotta emote it. Gotta do a little bit of headcanon and a little bit of emoting. And they'll go right for it. Also, while we're here, obviously we got to recruit our cinnamon bun. There he is. That's the boy. The boy. There he is. Oh, the Stobe AI mod. Yeah, I haven't had any issues with lag or anything related to Sentient Sands. Hasn't given me any issues whatsoever. It's also probably just better optimized, to be honest, but... Alright, cool. We got Beep. We got him. That's our boy. Beepus, welcome to the crew. We're going to ride out the apocalypse together. Although it does seem like Mongrel does not have a zombie issue. Which makes sense. I imagine Mongrel's actually pretty safe. Considering the circumstance. Which deep seek do you use? The one closest to the bot. I just use the normal deep seek, I believe. Like it's which one do I use? Yeah, I use the one towards the bottom. Maybe it's because it's TTS. They all speak. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. That's different. Chat injection versus voice injection is 2 different things. Yeah, that's different thing. Version 3.2. I think so. Yeah. I need a Sentient Sands tutorial so my burn can say bat. I can't believe that. I can't believe he did that. Can't fucking believe that he did that. Fucking crazy. V4 flash. I don't know shit. Hold on. Let me... which one am I using? V4 flash. V4 flash. Yup. V4 flash. And I've been using this one for quite a little while now. Basically since like halfway through One Arm Toji Season 1. And I've had great results. Great results. MCU vocabulary going there. But listen, he's doing his thing. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. All right, so we're gonna have Beep hang out here. He doesn't need to be going out into the fray here. We're gonna go out and collect some heads. We're gonna go out and collect some heads, literally. Get some money for it. Money, money, money. Seems like the zombies don't stand much of a chance here. Dead still come, Fogmen still shriek. Only difference is we swing blind now. Yeah. That burn, yeah. Blind swings get you dead faster than any shrieker. I've seen this kind of fog before, back when the old machines used it to cover their movements during the rebellion. It's not natural. Oh, shit, son. That's some good stuff. Is V4 paid? So technically, yes, but like, all right, so they have the credit system on Player 2, right? I got $5 worth of credits. $5 worth of credits. And I've easily gotten 100 hours of gameplay out of it. Easily 100 hours out of $5. I've been using it for over a month now and haven't had to refill. Almost a month now and haven't had to refill. I mean, $5 gets you, and that's with me streaming it 5 nights a week, 4 to 5 nights a week, for 8, 30, 9, 30, 10, 30, 11, 30, for three and a half to 4 hours a night. So like, do you have to pay for it? Yeah, but like $5 gets you so much fucking playtime, so much fucking playtime. So I mean, it's in my opinion, kind of a non-issue. Because I said I wasn't gonna pay for like a monthly API. I wasn't gonna pay for like a monthly LM. I wasn't gonna do it, you know. Do you use some mods to stop any vanilla modded dialogue from happening? No. Is it worth it? I think so personally. In my opinion, I think so. Yeah. It's added so much to my playthrough. Added so much to my playthrough. Like, look at them. They're having this whole conversation right now. It's badass. It's cool being able to see characters develop relationships with each other, develop like actual fucking like dialogue with each other and form memories and bonds of some kind. Like it's cool. It's really cool. I'm sorry. How fucking strong is this Fogman that he just blocked an attack from all 3 of us? What the fuck? Hell nah, dude. Beep, we're gonna put you over here for right now. Oh, I can select all. Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Be mindful. Kite some Fogmen up here. Kite the Fogmen up here. Very good, very good, very good. I get Burns martial arts up, man. This Fogman's name is Earl. This Fogman's name was Earl. He's dead now. Also, I remember a while ago you said you were doing a hive playthrough next. Will you be using one of those custom hiver mods? I don't think so. I don't think that's my plan. I don't think that's my plan. But I'm not sure. Not 100%. I haven't worked out all the fine details for that yet, for the hiver run yet. Lucky the Fogmen don't hit very hard. My God. Their heads 300 apiece. It's pretty good still. It's pretty good. It's still pretty good. We gotta get a better backpack. This one's full of food. This one's full of food. Yeah, DeepSeek V4 Flash. That's the one I'm using. That's the one, everybody. That's the one. $300 is $300. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. We're gonna loot a couple of these guys. Although it does seem like their corpses are being picked up, so we'll have to be quicker about it. I was hoping to get some of the fog heavies, maybe get some of their heads because they're worth 1,200 apiece. Get money faster, but 300 is 300. You're right. We need money and we need recruits, and I plan on getting Crumble John, Shrike, all of them. Infinite Wing Wang. Wing Wang! Because again, in this playthrough, we're being a lot less discriminatory in terms of how, you know, who we're recruiting. Last playthrough was pretty much only Shek with the exclusion of Beep and Toji, but this time not so much. What is the Horde this run? Zombies. There are zombies. We have zombies. There's a lot of zombies, actually, and they will get progressively stronger. They will get progressively stronger and they will attack bases until eventually you're dealing with full-on super mutants. But yeah, it's zombies. I'm using the Outbreak mod. Arthur, we gotta get just one more score, Arthur, and then we can leave. Get out of here and settle in the gut. It's Tahiti, Arthur. It's Tahiti. It's true. It's true. The Fogmen use flesh to multiply. Why aren't they purple like the Southern Hives? Because I think they're using the flesh inside an incubator that is not connected. In my opinion, is that they are reproducing in an incubator that's not connected to a queen anymore. So they are genetically damaged. The blue is not because they're using flesh. It's because they're genetically damaged. They're breaking down. They're falling apart. They are damaged genetically. Because the queen acts as a stable genetic template for the hive. Yeah, so it looks like Mongrel doesn't actually have much of a zombie problem. Which is cool. Because that would have been annoying. Nice. You said some time ago you do a zombie run. Nice to see. That's true. It's true. We're there. Low key, it's funny that the best defense against the zombies is a horde of Fogmen who out-zombie the zombies. At least for now. By phase 2, the Fogmen won't stand a chance. I'm going to level with you. By phase 2, they won't stand a fucking chance. Ironically, the zombies are getting eaten by the Fogmen. It's true. It's true. The zombies also eat each other, though. That's a thing that they do. Ow, you bastard! Hell yeah! Gotta get stronger. This is how we do it. Come on, guys. Stop getting your ass kicked. Good job, Arthur. Go help your son. Just fucking batter him. My God. Look at him just look at him just beat him around like that. My God. Just battered his ass. Oh shit. Rook is down. Rook, get up. We don't have time for your chicanery. Few thousand cats here. We'll also get some gear upgrades for everybody. I've been seeing a few of your videos and just tuned into the stream. What's the mod that you use for characters' personality and dialogue? Sentient Sands, my friend. It is the Sentient Sands mod. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Kick his ass. Kick his ass. Keep on kicking his ass. Keep on kicking his ass. Hell yeah. Anybody got any room for this? Better make room. Yeah. Simple katana. Bone Ronin helmet. Love it. Fantastic. Okay. Back inside, everybody. We got places to be, people to see. All right. So we're going to head into one of these bars, sell off this stuff. We also got to heal up. 6,000 for that. Another like 5,000 for those. Nice. We love to see it. All right, everybody heal up. Make some money in the fog for a little while. Arthur doesn't actually need to heal. Nice. Okay, what do you, in your opinion, what do you think is better, heavy weapons or martial arts? It depends how vanilla you're going, and it depends on what your end game situation looks like. Because technically speaking, heavy weapons is better in terms of damage. But in vanilla, with the way combat slots work, martial arts is goated for a reason. You basically can't touch your opponent. In vanilla, Tin Fist, because he can dodge so effectively, and because combat slots are just 1v1, in vanilla Kenshi, Tin Fist can take Catlon and all 120 of his Storm Thralls. Because he just dodged, like, nobody can hit him. Nobody can hit him, because only one person can attack at a time. If you've got multiple attack slots on, heavy weapons. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's my point. Like, the heavy weapons are better at taking multiple opponents at once, which is only really an issue comparatively if you have multiple attack slots on. Because even if you're taking on multiple opponents in vanilla, you know, it doesn't matter because you only have one attack slot. So try that out for the arena. I might. I'm trying to outfit my army right now. Ah, yes, I see. Who are they doing? Oh, they're shopping. I thought they were attacking. Is there an enemy in here? We have zombies in here? What's happening? Oh no, one Fogman made it through, and the whole cavalry came in. Interesting. Interesting. Build me an army worthy of Mordor. Do it. Do it. No regrets. Alright, we gotta get Ruka to finish healing up. Enough. Okay, we need to get 10,000 so I can get Beep to get a little bit of attack on him. I can have him train up at... what is it? I can have him train up at the Shinobi Thieves. You got to set up Beep's character sheet to be accurate because something tells me he'll be a lot more intelligent with sentient sense. Beep's character sheet tends to think that he's a robot. I know how to fix it. I have the right character profile to fix it. I used it on One-Armed Toji. I created a good character profile for him that will assist with making him not think he's a fucking robot. Sentient Sans tends to think that he is. So, you know, we'll get that fixed. Would I use my same API key? I mean, if you use... So you don't have to use the API key. Like, none of that stuff matters. The only thing that matters is that you have... Literally, all you do is you open up Player 2. You pick your chat model. I put thinking mode on because it makes the responses less stupid. And then you have it run in the background, and you run the Sentient Sans mod simultaneously. And you should be good to go. You should be good to go. That's all you have to do. It's not an overtly... I think the API keys and the URLs and all that stuff confuses people. I think that's where a lot of people get mixed up. That's all you got to do. That's literally all you've got to do. You just select your thing, hit the select the thing, have it running in the background, and then run the Sentient Sans mod, and you're done. That's all you got to do. Pretty much everything. Oh, and let me clarify. When you run the Sentient Sans mod, you also need to activate it. So hit play Sentient Sans and activate it, and then pick your chat model, and then just run have player 2 running in the background and run the Sentient Sans mod. That's all you do. It's not what Pork is saying. There's a lot of unnecessary instructions. None of that shit matters. That's all you got to do. That's the entire setup process. That's the entire process. All right, we got about 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna well, actually, now it's 1:40. It's 11:45. I've got to get my other shit done. Okay, so we're in Mongrel. We're farming for supplies. We're getting some money, and we're training up. We just got Beep. Good stuff. And the goal is now to get a Beep outfitted and set up as well, but also get some money so we can start buying and getting recruits because we need to build an army. We need to have a ton of people that are absolutely stacked so we can start building an outpost. So we can withstand the Horde. So we're continuing our mission to gather gather allies and whatnot. We're using World's End as a base of operations. But that's kind of where we're at with that. I am going to call it for the evening because this guy, has to continue some of his other stuff that he's working on for this week. So I've got to get some more stuff done before I can head to bed, which requires me to be done. Guys, thank you so much. This was my first stream of yours, and I'm loving it so far. Thank you. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. I hope to see more of you. Yeah, so guys, thank you so much for popping in. As always, I sincerely appreciate everybody who helped contribute to the dono goal today as well. We managed to surpass it today as well. Absolutely fantastic. I love to see it. You guys are why I'm able to continue to do this. I want to make sure that it is not lost on you how much I appreciate each and every one of you guys, because you guys don't have to donate and you choose to, and that's awesome. So thank you guys. My next stream, so I stream Sunday through Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, from 8:30 p.m. until 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with the exception of this Thursday, because this Thursday is my wife's birthday. So I will not be streaming that day. So I'll be back tomorrow. We'll be streaming more The Horde tomorrow. Yeah. So I will see all of you guys tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for more of The Horde as we continue building our army, and then eventually building our outpost, our proper city, our haven. So, all right, guys. As always, use your powers for good instead of evil. Make a difference in somebody's